And welcome to this presentation of Conference USA football on ESPN+. Here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, it's the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers playing host to the Aggies of New Mexico State in a key conference clash to get the month of November underway. I'm Tyler Eaton, joined today in the booth by Terry Obie. Terry, here at WKU, 7th year under head coach Tyson Helton, their signature almost identity at this point has been a surge. Every year in the month of November, they're 17-6 under Helton, 16-5 in Conference USA, and still in the mix right now near the top of Conference USA. But to have a shot at the title, they're going to need another really good November.
Yeah, again, I mean, like the song said, do you remember September, but do you remember November with Coach Helton? He does a great job during this time because what happens is you get a chance to see everybody's film and you get a chance to adjust everything, and then he's able to rebound and do better.
These are two teams that operate very similar stylistically. Logan Fife has come in here to New Mexico State, transferring in from Montana after 4 years at Fresno State. This was a team, Terry, that last year ranked 127th in passing in the entire country last season. They're up in the top 50 nationally this year, and it's all because of Fife and the weapons he's got at receiver.
Yeah, Fife, what's great about him, he makes quick decisions, and he gets the ball off very quick to their receivers and to their playmakers. It's similar. The offenses are going to be similar. They try to dink and dunk and get the ball out really quick, and the whole idea is the big playmakers, they get yardage after the catch, and that's what they want to do today.
WKU will be rolling out Rodney Tisdale Jr. again at quarterback to start this ball game. Coach Helton said, I don't really like the word starter, but I'll tell you that he's going to be the first one out on the field for us when the Hilltoppers get out there offensively, but it's going to be the defense out there first for WKU. And Terry, as we know, as we've learned in talking to head coach Tyson Helton, if it was up to him, this ball would land 10 yards out of the back of the end zone.
I can guarantee you the ball is going out of the end zone this time, because last week they said they were slipping on the field and everything like that. But the kicker, he does a great job of getting the ball out, though. So I would expect him right now to boom this ball in the end zone.
That's big 6'6", 230 Jack Cassidy coming in from Ireland as he boots this one up, and it actually lands short of the end zone. So New Mexico State is going to have an opportunity to return, but it's chopped down quickly just past the 20-yard line. As to what you mentioned, a rare return opportunity on the other side brought out by TJ King sets New Mexico State up for their opening drive. Perhaps some of those jitters carrying over from the field conditions that you mentioned at Louisiana Tech, but it wasn't too much of a problem, Terry, as WKU still pulled out an overtime win, 28-27 over Louisiana Tech, and a lot of that had to do, Jalen Wester, a career game for him defensively for the Hilltoppers, 15 tackles in that game, the third time in his career that he's hit double digits.
And you got Jonathan Fapel, the wide receiver, number 5, makes big plays. So he tried to get down. They try to get the ball to him deep.
This time they work it underneath on the opening play. Fife able to connect for a first down and nearly a lot more. Actually, they're going to say that stepping out just short of the line of gain there was the running back Dijon Stanley out of the backfield. And Fife will not hesitate to use those backs to what you mentioned. Outside, defenses have to pay extra attention to Donovan Fapel, number 5. He's got 36 catches for 447 yards, second in the conference in catches and fourth in yards so far this season, and coming off of a career-high 10-catch performance in a tight loss to Missouri State. Handoff on second down, just short of the sticks, and it's going to be third and short.
Yeah, really good penetration by the defense on the end right there, coming up and step. Looked like Wester that you talked about earlier. He looked like he was on that tackle. He was in the mix of that, and they're making plays right now. And when you got support like that on the outside, it makes a huge difference.
New Mexico State trying to reestablish this run game between Stanley, who's now back from injury, and Kadarius Callaway, the former 4-star safety out of high school. And now you'll see the quarterback, Logan Fife, get involved with the sneak. Looks like from the initial spot he's got enough for the first down. It is statistically over the course of the season the worst rushing attack in the country, averaging under 70 yards per game, but they're averaging 108 per game over their last 3. A lot of that has had to do with Kadarius Callaway and what he's been able to do out of the backfield.
Yeah, and what they try to do is go more of a tempo, get this ball going. And these both offenses are going to be similar. They try to get the ball out quick, and then if you come up, they try to sneak a deep pass on you.
Fife looking into trouble, and it falls incomplete. Was targeting his star tight end, Gavin Harris, who has been such an impact player since transferring in from Central Michigan. Only caught 11 passes last year, has 24 catches for over 350 yards this year, but couldn't connect that time.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty much switch by the WKU defense on that. You know, they're usually a too high safety, and what they changed up in the middle, Coach was talking about that earlier, they try to switch in the middle of the read, as you know, give him a pre-snap and then go to something different.
Fife hands it off. Callaway cuts it back up the middle, gets up near the 34. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Great play. I mean, if they come and make plays look like that, it was Elijah. Let me see who was making that. Number 50, Sneed. The need for speed on the outside, making plays like that.
Benson Sneed, the transfer from Indiana. Now 12 tackles on the season, sets up what's officially going to be a 3rd and 8. Callaway has been, as I mentioned, the key to the resurgence in the run game with 50 or more yards in 3 straight. He's been involved in the passing game as well. Got to assume that's what they're going to roll with here with the tight formation on 3rd and 8.
And this is where Fife usually get in trouble.
Throws one. It's a contested play. Flag comes in the backfield. Fife was down. We'll see what the call is. If it's for the hit, the offensive lineman acting like that's going to be the case as they high-five Fife after the play. We'll get the official call now.
After further discussion, the contact was ruled legal. There is no foul in the play.
So no foul. They discuss it, decide to take the flag and pick it up. And WKU's defense makes a stand. They gave up the first down on the quarterback sneak, but only 2 yards after that.
Yeah, I'm glad when referees come together and make those decisions instead of making stuff hastily. It went back and looked at it. It was under pressure. It was kind of in the form of blocking. He was trying to get to the quarterback, so I don't think there was anything malicious on that one.
The Australian Max Dean will punt it away, averaging 43 yards per punt, right in the middle of the conference at 6th. And the ever so dynamic KD Hutchinson back to return for WKU. This one a short one. Hutchinson going to let it bounce. It takes a WKU bounce, fielded quickly there at the 36-yard line, and that's where the Hilltoppers will start with their first possession of the ball game. And so for the first time, we see this WKU offense led by Rodney Tisdale, the reigning Conference USA Freshman of the Week, 21 for 34 through the air, 227 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Ran for 73 yards as well in that overtime win with the 2-point conversion. Instead of going for the tying extra point in the second half of the overtime, as Tisdale takes the snap, they flare one out to the left side. It's caught, unable to make a man miss, and wrapped up is Marvis Parrish, who they love to use in the passing game, Terry. That's his 29th catch of the season.
Yes, Marvin Parrish made a great catch, and I mean, trying to get outside and make plays, but there's going to be some huge impact players tonight. Like, we got to get KD Hutchinson in the game, too. And then you talked about Jamel Thompson, the junior, the DN, that's going to make a big impact.
It's going to be tough to get anything outside with him out there. WKU trying to go to the screen game, and that's wrapped up quickly as well. Nowhere to go that time for Musa Berry, who Coach Helton said specifically they were talking about both him and offensive coordinator Rick Bowie finding ways to get Musa Berry more involved in this offense. But this is a New Mexico State defense that is very aggressive. They're coming off a season-high 4 sacks in that loss to Missouri State. They're one of the best teams in the country at forcing turnovers with 16 total. That's top 10 nationally. And now they've got WKU in a 3rd and 11.
And what's going to be really difficult, now they're looking like they're going to drop to a 3-high safety. So you're going to have to he's going to be really smart right now to try to get that ball over the middle somehow.
Perhaps this is where they look for Tisdale to create. Instead, he stays in the pocket, throws it across the middle. It's juggled. Was it caught? It was. Able to hold on was Matthew Henry, deep into New Mexico State territory. Big gainer to the 41.
Yeah, great. I mean, also, too, with great hands by him, going to get the ball high in the air. Excellent job by Tisdale. Tis the season. Get the ball to King Henry out there catching the ball for first down.
They operate quickly now back to the ball, but the official stood up over it as New Mexico State gets to make personnel changes.
And then with this 2-high safety, they're daring you to run the football, so I would expect some type of run or some type of trick play.
Little trickery, double handoff. The screen goes back to Hutchinson, and that is completely blown up. New Mexico State all over it, and that was Tuitama. the redshirt junior, who's going to have to step up in a bigger role today, Terry. New Mexico State without their best defensive player, Ezra Christensen, who has been an absolute star this season, leads the conference in sacks with 6, top 5 in tackles for loss. Without him, guys like Tuitama are going to have to step up, and he made a great play that time.
Yeah, excellent job by Tuitama, being ready, though, being alert and seeing what's going on. So keeping his eyes, not getting tricked by other plays, but then here comes WKU back with a pass to West.
Tisdale takes the easy one underneath to Jackson. West had 3 catches for 25 yards in the win against Louisiana Tech. WKU very thin at tight end, the top 2 on the depth chart out, although potentially Wolf could be available if they needed him to be. Still no Noah Myers, who had really emerged from late September on for WKU as a key target. But that one gives the Hilltoppers a third and at least manageable of 7. Tisdale going to keep it up the middle. He's hit immediately and wrapped up. I think they might give him forward progress to the 36-yard line, but that'll be it. And decision time now for the Hilltoppers. Do they roll the dice or do they try? I would say the cannon, but you've got John Cannon, and realistically the cannon on this team, Terry, is actually Jack Cassidy.
Yeah, but in this situation, he's going to try to be aggressive because both offenses love to have possessions, and the more possession you have, each team going to have to gamble, because if you give the other offense the opportunity to get the ball, that's going to be a huge deal.
They're going to stay on the field for now. Officially, it says 4th and 4. It's really closer to 5. 3 wide receivers on the right, 1 isolated on the left. That's Musa Berry. Tisdale across the middle, incomplete in a double coverage, was trying to connect with Henry to no avail. There to make the play was Nick Session, one of the key safeties for this New Mexico State team. They rotate in 3 or 4 who really get the job done, and both teams, Obi, making defensive stands to start this game. All zeros early on in Bowling Green. WKU trying to stay in the conference championship mix. New Mexico State trying to keep their bowl hopes alive in this CUSA matchup. WKU drives into New Mexico State territory. They stall out, turn it over on downs at the 35. Now the Aggies offense takes over. New Mexico State 3-4 on the season, 1-3 in conference play, coming off of back-to-back tight losses. Fell in overtime to Missouri State last Wednesday, 24-17, as they got quarterback Jacob Clark back, ended up throwing the winning touchdown. Logan Fife, the quarterback, I know that he's got a lot of regrets from that game, and perhaps a lot of motivation built up from that one. Had 4 interceptions in that game, including the one that sealed it in overtime after that Missouri State touchdown. What a way it would be to bounce back with a win here today against WKU. With the Aggies offense back out on the field, they swing it out on first down, and that's going to be enough to move the chains immediately That's the second time, Terry, in a row we've seen them come out with the running back pass play to get things started offensively. Both times it's been extremely successful outside to Dejon Stanley.
And Dejon Stanley made a great run, but the big key was those receivers on the outside blocking on the perimeter. If you can get guys blocking, you can make things happen, because right now New Mexico State wants to dink and duck early, but don't be surprised if they have some type of play action. They're going to try to take a shot pretty soon.
Stanley had 11 catches on the season coming into today, already a couple early on. Callaway's back in the backfield, Fife being chased out, gets rid of it at the last moment. WKU, I know their coaching staff, Coach Helton currently calling for an intentional grounding. We'll see if there's a discussion on it. I don't think it got past the line of scrimmage. As we take another look, it just depends, Terry, on if you define this as being out of the tackle box.
Exactly. So it's really close. That's going to be a close call, but the referees conferred on that, and they're okay with that.
They say that there was a player in the area close enough for that to not be intentional grounding, so it'll just be 2nd and 10 for a WKU defense that has really struggled at getting any pressure. They're near the bottom of the country with just 7 sacks this season. It looked like a potential trick play was set up. WKU all over it. Ball comes out at the last moment, but they're going to say that play was dead.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was designed for Stanley to make the pitch or to hold on, and he just made the call to hold on. It was probably the smart move anyways. WKU had that busted, Terry.
Exactly. I mean, what they did, WK did a great job of staying home. You know, if you stay home, it's hard and difficult to get outside if you can keep contained. So really good film study, though. The coaches got them prepared on both sides to make some type of plays. So far, this has been like this big heavyweight fight. Everybody's throwing a blow here and there and switching up a lot of things to see what really sticks.
3rd and 13, Fife has time. Looking to his left, it's completed on the far side, and they're stretching out to get the first down as his star target, Donovan Fapel.
Yeah, Fapel, what a good route. I mean, got down there, looked like he was going deep, and he put his foot in the ground and came back and caught the ball. That's a huge 3rd down play.
He's scored a touchdown in back-to-back games, had 10 catches and 84 yards to go along with the score in that Missouri State loss. Averaging around 12.5 per catch. That was right at it. But now movement is going to push the Aggies back 5 yards.
Yeah, that's the thing what usually hurt the Aggies throughout the season, is because they're moving and driving it, but all of a sudden then you hurt yourself. Now you're behind the change. It makes it change, and it makes it difficult to get another first down.
They call it on left tackle Malik Williams. Spent a couple years at Wyoming, 3 years at San Jose State.
From the Hilltopper, 49.
That makes it 1st and 15 for Fife in the gun. Just one wide receiver each way now. Callaway tries to bounce it. He can't. The Hilltoppers all over it again for a defense that doesn't produce a lot of sacks, Terry. They're still pretty good in the tackles for loss department with what they do against the run, and that's for a team that struggles against stopping the run. They produce so many negative plays in the run game. It's just those explosives that they give up.
Yeah, I mean, great. I mean, a good job by keeping the eyes, though. That was Holloman on that, making a play and making a tackle and staying really physical at the point of edge. And if you can do that the entire game, it's going to make a lot of things happen. So now, again, WKU loves to bring pressure in these situations. See what they're going to do on this 3rd down.
Fife rolling to his right. In trouble, gets rid of it the last moment. Fapel catches, turns forward, gets back near to the original line of scrimmage. And that'll make it 3rd and either 10 or a long 9.
This is very interesting because WKU went forward on 4th down. And it's going to be interesting to see what the Aggies do right now. It's 3rd and 9.
Kicker Ryan Hawk has a season long of 47, has made one as long as 51 when he was at Valparaiso. But still a ways to go, and really you would need to get to the 1st down marker for that range to be a talking point anyways. As the tight end comes into motion, Gavin Harris, and a penalty, the last thing you want in this spot if you're New Mexico State. For a team that really does not commit many, less than 5 per game, one of the better marks in the country. They've been set back a couple of times on this drive already.
Yeah, Tyler, see, they don't really do that, but it's just crucial situation when the penalties happen, and it makes it difficult to recover. You're right on the fringe. You're 9 yards. Now you make it 14 yards. That's very difficult to do now if a team brings pressure on you. You got to get the ball out very quick before they get to the quarterback.
They set up the same play here as again the tight end Harris comes into motion left to right. He's in the slot on that right side now. Fife takes the snap. WKU brings pressure. Fife escapes looking downfield. Just has to get rid of it at the last second. And it's incomplete out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, a difference of 5 yards changed the whole defensive scheme and the coverages that they're going to play.
Player down for a moment for WKU. But Wester popped back up after the play. He was the one there that had to make a smart play there. No, now he's back down. I think they told him to hop back down and make sure they could take care of him.
Yeah, he's fighting to be back in the game. He said, I'm okay. But, I mean, that's just adrenaline running, so he's just got to be comfortable. Look like more of a shoulder because he's grimacing a little bit.
Coming off that career game with 15 tackles against Louisiana Tech. Mentioned earlier it was his third career game with 10 or more tackles. First one since 2022 when he was an All-CUSA freshman team member at Florida Atlantic at the time when the Owls were in Conference USA. But it looks like we're going to get an injury timeout as now Wester's trying to trot his way off the field.
Yeah, and it looked like it's more of a shoulder because he's leaning one way and grimacing a little bit.
He's holding that hand, it looks like, from that shot.
Yeah, he's holding it to keep that shoulder from freelancing and try to put a grip on it and keep it stable.
So he'll come out of the game as everything would point towards New Mexico State punting this ball away, and that's really been one of the strengths of their punter, Max Dean. He's punted it now 35 times this season with the one earlier. 14 of them have been downed inside the 20, and for comparison, you're looking at one of the best punters in the country on the other side for WKU and Cole Maynard. He's 10 for 34 and punting them inside the 20. And here an opportunity to pin WKU and try to get the ball back with plus field position. We'll see what Dean does. This one's a low punt. Fair catch called for and taken around the 13-yard line by Hutchinson, and that's where WKU will get it back. The Hilltopper defense holds. Both teams starting to move the ball, but New Mexico State this time shoots themselves in the foot with a couple of penalties. WKU able to make the stand. We'll see what Rodney Tidsdale and the Hilltopper offense are able to do when we come back.
Fans, the College of Health and Human Services.
Being strong doesn't mean going through it alone.
Mental health matters, just like physical health.
It's okay to feel overwhelmed.
It's okay to ask for help.
Talking to someone can change everything.
Your mind needs care too.
No shame, no stigma, just support.
We're teammates on and off the field.
Your story matters.
You are not alone.
We see you, we support you.
Let's break the silence together.
Mental health is part of the game. Let's continue the
Conversation.
No throw here. Velkamp to the end zone. Touchdown!
Whether you're traveling for work or leisure, Three Springs Hospitality is your home away from home. Each hotel is unique and offers a variety of different amenities to all types of travelers. Parking and Wi-Fi are always free. Plus, select hotels offer complimentary breakfast. The best part is WKU's campus is 10 minutes away from any of our hotels. So be sure to book your travel in the Fan Zone Travel Center on WKU Athletics website. Book your stay today.
WKU is home for big dreamers, for those who shape the future, who set their sights high, accept challenges, fuel their passions, for those with a desire to create a better tomorrow. You don't come here to prepare for one thing. You come here to prepare for everything. You belong on this hill, where we engage, learn, grow, and celebrate together. Climb with us at Western Kentucky University.
WKU 6-2 overall in the season, 4-1 in Conference USA, celebrating their homecoming on the hill today. The theme, Once Upon a Hill. Terry, I don't know if you got the chance to go and take in all the floats. If you had a favorite of what was set up out there. I thought most of them were pretty good. I'm not going to say which ones were bad. I mean, we're certainly not going to do any of the such. You were a part of homecomings as a player and as a coach. I know at the high school level in particular, I've heard many coaches say it's a bit of a distraction. It's a bit of a nightmare week from a football standpoint. That's got to be one of the toughest weeks to keep your guys focused leading up into the game, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's literally a nightmare because Halloween was last night, right? So keeping them guys under control and keeping them focused on the game is really important. But the floats out there look pretty nice, but I didn't get a chance to look at them all.
Tisdale takes the snap at quarterback for WKU, standing in, fires across the middle, bit high, dangerous one for Henry. New Mexico State had a chance to produce another one of those signature turnovers. Nate Mitchell couldn't quite corral it. And fortunately for WKU, it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that time Tisdale should have stepped on that throw. It had too much loft on it and going across the middle like that. You got to get him. You got to hit him right on the top there because you have safety sitting on both sides.
9 interceptions this season for New Mexico State. That's 2nd in the conference. For as much as Tisdale can do as a runner, Terry, they said they like him much, much more as a passer, as this time he's going to hand it off up the middle, and that one is going nowhere. Parrish stuffed up the middle. WKU trying to establish their run game. We talked about it earlier with New Mexico State, a team that had struggled to run. It's come to life lately. It was the same deal for WKU until that Louisiana Tech game where their entire run game outside of the scrambles from the quarterback were really shut down.
Yeah, I love the defense. I mean, that play right there was excellent. It was a two-gapper. He was responsible for the A and the B gap, and he just stuffed the offensive lineman on that play.
Tisdale wrapped up and thrown down immediately. The Aggies bring the pressure, and they hit WKU with the signature celebration after the fact as they bring Torrey Geathers right up the middle. The star linebacker coming off a career high in tackles against Missouri State gets his 3rd sack of the season. And WKU was going to have the task of punting it out of their own end zone.
Yeah, Gathers made a great play. I mean, on that delayed blitz, what a great call by New Mexico State. It kind of confused Tisdale on that. He was indecisive of what to do. But if you see a freelancer like that, you got to make a play and get upfield and do the best you can do. But great design play, great design blitz on that. We call that the dog linebacker blitz, dog blitz.
And New Mexico State shows pressure. Now they drop back to set up the return. Fielded inside the 50, and what great special teams play. That's what Coach Helton said he wanted to see from his Hilltoppers. Very disappointed, the former special teams coach Helton, by the special teams performance from his team in that Louisiana Tech game, despite the win, Terry. And here, excellent coverage
by Gerardo. I mean, great tackle, man. He went low to make that play, hit him on the knee, hope he's okay, but that was a really good hard hit.
WKU now flips it to their defense to make a stand. New Mexico State got a chance to strike first. The WKU offense averaging nearly 30 points per game, scoreless so far as we've got 3:12 left in the opening quarter. It zeros both ways in the CUSA matchup between WKU and New Mexico State. Tyler Eaton, Terry Obie with you in the booth. Terry, New Mexico State had a chance to put some points on the board last drive, had a couple of costly penalties. The defense, though, forces WKU to punt out of their own end zone and now set up with an opportunity to make something happen.
And I'm surprised, too. So right now, they haven't really taken even a shot.
No.
But eventually, they're going to try to.
And here they want the one-on-one coming down the right side. Fife overthrows it. Terrion Graves had a step, emerged last game, first catch of the season against Missouri State for 17 yards. There was one-on-one, Terry, and I think that if that's on the spot, it might have been 6.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't need to throw a little air on it. He didn't give enough space, air in the ball that the receiver could run underneath. But Robinson had really good coverage, number 11 for WKU. But at the same time, right now they're just figuring each other out. Both sides are trying to figure out what team was going to work and what's not going to work.
Play action screen set up near side. Johnson makes a man miss across the 50 down near the 45-yard line to set up 3rd and short. Good catch and run by P.J. Johnson III, the senior who spent all 4 years here at New Mexico State, at his 16th catch of the season.
Oh, my God. I mean, that was, oh, my goodness, Johnson. What a great move right there. I mean, good shake and bake on there because that was a tackle for loss on that, but he made all that yak yardage after the catch. I mean, it's huge when you have a guy like that. If you look Fife like one-on-one at the top, he's got to be looking for that slant route.
Heavy formation. Fife keeps it himself, gets outside left side, 35, inside the 30, now makes a business decision and gets out of bounds short of the 20. That is a rare aspect of his game. Now he's run it. That's his 58th run of the season, but it's just for 21 yards. He's been sacked a good amount. They use him for those quarterback sneaks that we saw, but there may be a bit of a zone read, Terry.
Yeah, there was a zone read right now when he was running, but there was the receivers were covered, so he figured out he had the option to even throw the ball out wide if the receivers are not covered, but when the receivers are covered, he just decided to keep the ball and run with it.
Taking advantage of a WKU defense giving up nearly 200 rushing yards per game. Last in the conference, 121st in the country. Wants the one-on-one again, right side. It's batted down, incomplete. Hand fighting both ways. Don't think there's going to be a call. As they try to go back to the jump ball, Robinson again in coverage, fighting back there against Graves.
And that was an ill-advised throw because Robinson had it right in his hands. I mean, that was the opportunity to make a big play right there and have a turnover. He's got to get more air and try to get more on the sideline, 2 yards from the sideline. That is the best aim for a quarterback to get it to a wide receiver.
After he overthrew the last one, that time he clearly wanted to make sure he kept it in play, but kept it a little too much in play.
Absolutely. Offsides again.
And again, New Mexico State jumps. That's the 3rd false start in this first quarter alone. Again, a team that averages less than 5 total penalties a game.
But what I'm noticing, too, the reason they're jumping off sides, WKU defense is doing a great job. The coordinators are doing a great job of stemming late. So because what's happened is the offensive line is adjusting to one blocking.
Yeah.
When they shift, they get jittery because, what can I do now?
Yeah. That's one thing the coaches told us they want to try to do some more of, rather than just showing one coverage and then as the play starts jumping into it, showing one coverage and then just before the snap shifting into something else.
Yeah, it's very difficult when you have an offensive line like this that has established their blocking on the first call.
Yeah. So it sets up a 2nd and 15, empty backfield this time for Fife. They bring the wide receiver in motion. That's Pell. He sets up underneath. Instead, this ball is just chucked out of bounds to the left side as WKU brought some heat. And the Aggies face a 3rd and 15.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. There, right there, that was what you call the TE blitz, tackle in the end. They kind of crossed each other on that play. That was really good on the defensive side of the ball. It's both sides of the game, even offensively. They're trying everything they can do to make something happen and look for opportunities.
Stanley, the running back to the right of his quarterback, Fife. He's got a couple of catches already in this ball game. Pell now isolated on that left side, but WKU keeps the safety help over the top. Instead, it goes across the middle. Great move from the tight end. Harris makes 2 men miss, gets down to the 15-yard line. And now potentially decision time, Terry Obie. Knowing what this WKU offense can do, what do the Aggies do in this spot? And finally, they bring on the field goal unit.
I am surprised, though, with the Aggies driving down. You get this opportunity. You rarely get them. If this is the opportunity where you need to get this first down and try to go for it. I know 3 points counts, but 3 points in this game, I don't know if it's going to really hold up very well.
Ryan Hawk stands in 12 for 17 on his field goal kicks this season. He was 1 for 2 in the Missouri State game. This one up from the left hash. And it's good from 32 yards out. So regardless of the result, points in this spot in this low-scoring affair, perhaps surprisingly against this high-powered WKU offense, even with Tisdale in there, they've shown that they can put up points. 0 on the scoreboard so far as New Mexico State strikes first, 3-0 Aggies with 1 minute left in this opening quarter. Terry, I'm with you, perhaps a little bit surprised there that they take the points, but I guess with the way that Aggies defense is playing and the way that this game has gone so far, WKU, granted they've been able to drive down, they turned it over on downs in New Mexico State territory, perhaps thinking points at a premium in this one.
Man, I totally agree with you. Like what you said earlier, yeah, taking 3 points, but that's actually a win for WKU. You're at that point, you've been driving, you only had 2 or 3, 4 yards to get, and your defense has been holding.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're in great field position. Right now, I think WKU is saying, oh, thank you.
Well, that's what WKU's defense does. They are the best in Conference USA in terms of their touchdown percentage in the red zone. That's the 33rd red zone trip for an opposing team, only 13 touchdowns given up. Now, on the other side of that, co-defensive coordinator Devon Brown told us that he wants his defense to stop letting teams get into the red zone so much, but is very happy with how his defense has performed down there inside the 20-yard line as the WKU offense will take the field once again. Tisdale so far 5 for 7, just 28 yards. Granted, there was a 7-yard loss on a screenplay that was set up to Hutchinson. The big deal so far, Terry, WKU just unable to get anything going in the ground game officially with the sack. 3 attempts, 5 yards lost.
I mean, what happens is when you become one-dimensional, the Aggies is starting to see that. But really, you don't have to make – so far there's been a lot of gadget plays. You just need to get the ball out, make a couple 5 or 10 yards at a time, and make the receivers make some plays.
Hutchinson gets it on the sweep, trying to get outside. Gets a block, now hurdles over a man. Flag comes in from the secondary. That was the back judge. He threw that one from midfield.
And usually that's some type of penalty. I mean, blocking penalty.
I think it'll be a penalty.
Yes. cut block or something. Yeah. Ooh, blindside blitz. That was the blindside hit. Looked like it. Was that from the Aggies?
We'll see what the call is going to be here. WKU walking back as though it's on them. And
holding offense number 0, 10-yard penalty, first down.
it was a hold that comes in from the outside on receiver Matt Henry that the back judge caught, and it walks WKU back to their own 15-yard line. And this one of those spots where obviously you don't know that this is how the next drive is going to start, but when you take those 3 points and then you come out and WKU immediately picks up a big penalty, you feel much better about that decision.
Yeah, I mean, now you feel really good about it. But look at these offenses mirror each other. You got 3 receivers to one side. They've both been playing the same, but you got to be really accurate to get that ball out.
What a spin move from Hutchinson. He escapes everybody. He's past the 30, finally dragged down short of the 35-yard line. He was in no man's land, put him on the spin cycle, and turned absolutely nothing into 2nd and 1.
Man, you're talking about yardage. You know, he feels at home. This is Houch's stadium, so KD is like, I'm trying to take it to the Houchinson. Great move, great. You know, he left people on the ground, man. That's something else. When you got that type, we call it wiggle in space.
KD somehow wanted to turn that into a TD, at least got it to a 2nd and 1. Final seconds ticking down in this first quarter. WKU will get one more play as they run it up the middle and able to move the chains. They go to the big fella, Lavelle Wright. He barrels through. And as the first quarter comes to a close, WKU moves the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. When we come back, New Mexico State has dictated the tempo of this game, the physicality of the game so far. Add it all up, the Aggies lead it 3-0 in Bowling Green after 1.
WKU.
Mexico State under second-year head coach Tony Sanchez leading WKU 3-0. Sanchez came in after the great tenure for Jerry Kill, who is now high level. It depends on who you ask what the official title is. They've got officially is it a consultant over at Vandy with the season that they're having so far this year. Sanchez comes in, a former receiver at New Mexico State after a great run at Bishop Gorman, one of the best high schools in the country, won 85-5 there as a head coach. Trying to get his Aggies in position for a bowl game. They lead the Hilltoppers 3-0, but WKU piecing together a bit of a drive here at their own 37 after they back themselves up with penalties. Tisdale keeps it, running left side, gets across the 40 after the second surge for a gain of 4 on first down.
Yeah, great decision by Tisdale on that one, because this Joe Moore's defense at the New Mexico State is playing 2 high safeties. And what that means is now they're going 3 high safeties. They're daring you to run the football. Because they're giving the run a game up, but they're not going to allow you to pass unless you accurate down the middle.
Tisdale going to throw this time, looks right, goes back left, now drops it off underneath. It's caught. Barry can't escape. He's wrapped up and dropped at the 44-yard line. 3rd and short upcoming. That's one thing that they talked about with Tisdale, Terry, coming in. Although he's the backup, they say he's really operated really well. At like a very professional approach to being the backup, is always treated it as almost starting as a backup, but still needs to work on sometimes releasing from going through all of those progressions and improvising a little bit.
Absolutely, but on that time, that was just a great tackle outside by the defensive back on that one.
Rollout is caught by Matthew Henry, but immediately shoved out of bounds right at the first down marker. We'll see where this gets officially spotted. That will determine everything.
It's really close.
The stick itself looks just short of the 47-yard line. The nose of the football gets just enough, and that will move the chains as Henry gets the first down catch, his second catch of the day. The first one he juggled and brought in for a 25-yard gainer that, Terry, was longer than any play WKU had in that win against Louisiana Tech. Longest completion of that one, just 21 yards. Coach Helton and offensive coordinator Rick Bowie, who came here with Maverick McIver, the quarterback for most of the season for WKU, who is available if needed for the Hilltoppers today. They said they want to open this thing up if they get the right opportunities, but don't want to force it downfield.
Yeah, right now, both teams are not letting them have any opportunity. They're playing 3 high safeties, 2 high safeties, and making it difficult to pass the ball deep, but you can throw underneath, but they're not going to allow you to throw any ball.
WKU takes their first time out. They're driving now at their own 47-yard line, trailing at 3-0 to New Mexico State in the opening game of November.
Hilltopper fans, show the world you're a Hilltopper and take the Big Red Spirit wherever you go with the official WKU Athletics debit card. Available only at South Central Bank. South Central Bank is proud to support Western Kentucky University and be the exclusive provider of the official WKU Athletics debit card. Stop by any location and ask about yours today. South Central Bank, the official debit card provider for WKU Athletics. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Houchins Insurance Group is an insurance broker that focuses specifically on commercial insurance, but we represent all areas of insurance.
If you go down our hallway, you'll see all of our nameplates, and our job titles are listed as owner. And that is truly the foundation of our culture, and I think that's what our customers experience every day through our products and services.
We are superior in service and quality. We've got to provide the best resources for our clients day in, day out.
been a day of chaos already in college football. 3 ranked teams have fallen. One of those being Vandy, who we just mentioned, falling to number 20 Texas on the road. SMU upsetting Miami in overtime, and West Virginia goes on the road and beats Houston here in Bowling Green. WKU, albeit very early on upset alert on this apparent chaos Saturday to get November underway. The Hilltoppers trailing New Mexico State 3-0 here in Houchensmith Stadium. Tyler Eaton joined by Terry Obi. This really the first time we've seen consistent life from this WKU offense, Obi. Still trying to piece it together in the run game, but it seems like they're pretty content to use that short passing game as an extension of what they want to do with the run.
Yeah, but today, if you're going to win this game, you're going to have to run the football because they're giving it up. I mean, the Aggies right now, George Morris is saying, the defensive coordinator for New Mexico State is saying, you know what, we're going to let you run the football. We don't believe you can run the football against our front linemen. So we're going to put 3 and 2 safeties deep and to prevent you from throwing the football.
And with the guys they have up front, obviously led by Jamal Thompson on the edge. Again, despite not having Ezra Christensen, their star defensive lineman, in this game, you don't really want to get put in a spot where you have to throw the ball because they're going to bring pressure, and that's a tough thing regardless of how mature and how well Rodney Tisdale has handled the situation. You don't want him to have to handle the potential pressure from being in a must-throw situation. Had a bit of a delay here as there's an issue with the communication. That's been something that's implemented now, Terry, in college football, with the quarterbacks being able to talk or being able to hear directly through the helmets with the coaches. And we've seen several games this year across the country where that has popped up as an issue. Seems like everything's good now as Hutchinson gets it on another sweet play, cuts through the left side across midfield to the 48-yard line, picks up 5 on first down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good job to get Hutchinson in the backfield, try to get him some touches, and so they're trying to get some big plays. But right now, I think the Aggies also too, they're doing a great job. But they're just putting three down linemen, and they're having everybody outside, and they're mixing it up with different blitzes here and there.
First official carry of the game as the last one was called back on a hold. Tisdale fakes it, wanted to throw, lost the football, gets it back, now gets rid of it, and it's nearly picked off on the near side. Made a heroic play to save the fumble and then nearly threw it right back into the hands of New Mexico State.
Yeah, but in that situation, when it falls out of your hand, don't throw it to where somebody can catch the football. That's difficult. I'm throwing that out of bounds. When you're a freshman, you're a rookie like that, no experience, you don't want to get in the lines away because you end up throwing an interception to a team like New Mexico State defense that has 9 interceptions. And they're second in the Conference USA.
Boy, a number 10 would have been massive there. Instead, 3rd and 5 for WKU just on the New Mexico State side of the field. Hutchinson goes into motion. Now rushes down the right side. Tisdale, all the time in the world, drops it off underneath. It's going to be close. Where is the forward progress mark? New Mexico State, a great job of gang tackling right at that first down line, but didn't get there in time. His Hart got just enough for the first down.
Yeah, he wasn't an ace. He wasn't a diamond. He was a heart on that play to get that first down. But I like that, though, with New Mexico State is rallying around the football. I mean, they're moving. They're doing something different than normal that they usually do because they have a lot of turnovers. They make a lot of turnovers. But right now they're in a bend, don't break type of defense.
Whistles blow as
the ending spot of the previous run is under further review.
They're going to take another look at this spot and see if it was in fact enough for the first down, as Hart not really used as much in the passing game. That's mostly the role of Marvis Parrish back there, the freshman at running back. Hart, he's a bit of a hybrid guy, not the bulldozer. That's Lavelle Wright. He's that in-between guy that can really do whatever you need him to. Ran for a couple of touchdowns in that game against Louisiana Tech last week, including the one in overtime that set up the winning 2-point conversion that Tisdale threw to K.D. Hutchinson. Terry, looking back just to that, how important was that win for WKU? Louisiana Tech had emerged perhaps alongside, obviously, Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State, the reigning conference champions, as your real favorites in Conference USA. And the Hilltoppers, without Maverick McIver, finding a way after squandering an early lead to find a way to come out and win that game.
I mean, it was important for them to win that football game because if you're going to stay in the race, because all those, you said it, Kennesaw State, and then you also Jackson, you got a lot of them so close right now. And right now, I think if you look at Hart, I think he's close to getting that first down. So it's going to be very interesting if you look at the video. You know, Hart remind me of, like, if you would describe him as a car, he would be more like a minivan. Like, he'll surprise you when he take off at the stoplight. I mean, like you know, that mom minivan, you know, that soccer minivan, get at that corner, and all of a sudden you see it take off. You're like, I'm surprised it was that fast and big.
Well, and a minivan can carry a few people in it. He can carry a few tacklers, too.
Absolutely, and I think he got the first down.
It's going to be close. I think it'll depend on how many angles they get on it. Let's see the call.
Short of the line to gain at the 44-yard line, 4th down.
From that shot that they had, it did look to me, Terry, that he was closer to being at the 44 rather than the 43. Again, it just can be weird with the angles because that was one that was kind of from behind the play that's already going to make it look a little short. But knowing Tyson Helton and the influence that he's had on Rick Bowie, who has said it's just been an honor for him to be on this staff, felt like he was picked for this position, chosen to come be the offensive coordinator at WKU. I don't think there's much question about what the Hilltoppers are going to do here on 4th and short.
Absolutely. You know, they're going to go for it. I mean, both teams would, but it's going to be interesting to see what New Mexico State is, because right now they've been having 3 down linemen. And this short 1 yard, I would expect for them to bring another lineman down there to try to plug them gaps up.
They've got a couple of 300-pounders with Tui Tama and Schneck Goki that are now plugged in there, like you mentioned, down there in the interior of the defensive line. And boy, would you love to have an Ezra Christensen in this situation. But WKU comes out in the gun.
Yeah, New Mexico State is going to a 4 down front, and they're bringing everybody down there. It's going to see.
They shifted. It's a direct snap to Lavelle Wright, and New Mexico State is all over it. Flag comes in late from the near side. Think it'll be after the play, and New Mexico State makes another 4th down stand as WKU shifted late, went to the Wildcat with Wright, and that was blown up from the jump.
Yeah, it seemed like he messed his footage up on that one, though. He didn't have his footing down on that play.
There is a flag on the play.
We'll see what the call is. WKU hesitating to leave the field.
I wonder if they lined up sides. I mean, it's because the way the flag came out, it looked like they were lined up off sides.
It came in late. I almost wonder if a New Mexico State player might have run on early to celebrate before the whistle. We'll see.
Contact on the sideline with an official. New Mexico State, 15-yard penalty. 1st down, New Mexico State.
So it does remain. I think the crowd a little quick on their cheering there as it remains New Mexico State ball, because it won't be something that impacted the player. I don't know if a player came off the field and contacted the official, or I guess if you came up far enough to touch the official, it would have been technically the same thing. With the way that came in after the play, Terry, I think it was just somebody coming in to celebrate that happened to make contact with the official on the sideline.
Absolutely. See the head coach. I mean, he is going off on the sideline right now. You know, he's probably going to talk to one of the coaches got to be called a get back coach. You got to get me back. Because when I have emotions, like when head coaches have them, they don't know where they're at sometime in space. So they got to have a get back coach to make sure they're off sides.
5 hands it off. This one going nowhere up the middle. They had brought in that time really more so the blocking tight end in this offense, Unger. Goes for no gain as WKU swallows it up. The run defense has been solid for the Hilltoppers outside of the 24-yard keeper that they gave up to Fife on the zone read that we saw earlier. On the drive that eventually led to the field goal for New Mexico State that has them with this 3-0 lead. He's got 2 receivers each way. Now in motion again is the tight end Gavin Harris.
And they try to get that flare out to that running back again.
They had Harris out to block. It's dropped out in the flat by Stanley. They really want him involved in this passing game. Callaway going to check in for him ahead of this 3rd and 10. Harris used in so many different ways there at tight end, Terry, and there's a very unique connection from New Mexico State to WKU, and even to you, their tight end coach, Nelson Fishback, played here at WKU under Tyson Helton, and it might have rubbed elbows with a certain Terry Obie on the staff.
I mean, you know what, he was always, especially playing in those positions, he's always a very smart player, or a very smart kid. I know he would have a successful coaching career, and he's going to continue. He's been under the right shade tree, so he knows.
Fife wrapped up and sacked sacked, a rare one for this WKU defense. They bring some pressure, and they do it. In this case, Terry, out of the secondary with Jalen Emery, the corner gets the sack. He's been thrusted into this starting nickelback spot all of a sudden, and what a way to take advantage with a big play on third down.
Yes, I mean, the WKU defense, 7 sacks, right? That was last year, but right now that was a huge sack. What we call that, you call that the snake, meaning the skinny, our safety coming from the top of the zone, not expecting that. He came from the B gap and nobody was there. Delayed blitz by the Sam. I mean the safety, our small guy, skinny, meaning snake.
When you're in a spot where you're not creating many sacks, sometimes you got to bring those guys out of the secondary. And for a second time in this game, one each way, we see just fantastic punt coverage as Hutchinson is immediately swallowed up. Still favorable field position for WKU. The Hilltoppers, a couple turnovers on downs early on. We'll see if they can break through, if New Mexico State can continue to hold on to this early 3-0 lead in Bowling Green. WKU in this ball game against New Mexico State, trailing at 3-0. The Hilltoppers have picked up 4 first downs offensively through the air. Rodney Tisdale 9 for 12, but just 57 yards. The Hilltoppers, Terry, have tried to get some things going in the screen game with some sweeps, and New Mexico State so far has shut down everything on the edges. They are basically at this point daring WKU to try to take the top off this thing.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what they're doing. They're just sitting back and just not really reacting to the first move, and they're just trying to see what they can do. So he just got to be accurate in getting the ball out.
Looking deep across the middle into double coverage, and it's picked off. Threw that one straight to the defender. New Mexico State with their 10th interception of this season. And dropping back in coverage that time was the linebacker, Sone Alpiu. His first interception of the season, the second for his career, and his 3rd year starting for the Aggies. That time, fooled him with the coverage. Terry dropped back, and that one was gifted to him on a platter.
I mean, it looks more like that was cover 2, Tampa 2, where you see that linebacker drifting back deep, and he kind of disguises. So it's really man under with zone on top, and it kind of tricked Tisdale in that. And I don't know where his eyes was at in seeing that, because the linebacker tricked him on that. Great job by the linebacker.
Now, how does the bend don't break WKU defense respond? Fife throws it right side. Contested catch made by the big tight end Harris, 6'3", 240, but plays like a receiver and they utilize him as we've seen Obi using him in motion a ton of different ways in this offense. That time he was able to get isolated down the sideline and was able to pick up a nice gainer for the first down.
Yeah, that big tight end body right there. It was hard for the defensive back to even get around him. I mean, that's why they make it very difficult when you have big guys out there covering. That was Nazir Ward was trying to cover him on that play.
A couple of 11-yard catches in this one for Harris. He moves this time as an up back in the backfield. And again, New Mexico State moves early. If it's on the Aggies, that's their 4th false start. But we'll see if WKU moved first.
Yeah.
Offense, number 61, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And it seems like they're going forward. So, again, that's a great understanding what the defensive coordinator from the beginning of from all plays during the week and even in practice and watching the video see New Mexico tendencies. What they do is they lock in their blocking protection early, and when someone makes an adjustment late, they can't do it.
5-7 for 15 through the air now, 69 yards. Hasn't made the big mistake, though, in the pistol this time. Takes the snap, looks right side, has a man, but it's thrown outside as it was a blitz that time brought by Holloman. Flag comes into the secondary after the pass falls incomplete. See if it's a hold in the secondary, and that's why the pass was ahead of the receiver. I was trying to get it to TK King out on that right flat.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Hands in the face, and it is called on Jalen Wester, the tight end or the linebacker for WKU.
Yeah, that was a bailout play on that one, though, because that play right there, because it was great coverage, and
could barely get a peek at it there at the bottom. Tough to see. But regardless, moves it into the red zone again where WKU has been so good defensively, but New Mexico State looking to strike with the first touchdown of this ball game. 5 pressured, rolls out to his left. Stretches the play, goes underneath, has a man. It's caught falling down at the 11-yard line. Again, finding this time late in the play is running back Dijon Stanley.
Dijon Stanley did a great job of finding that open area, waiting for his quarterback Fife to just run when he's moving outside. That was not a design play. He was just looking at the zone where he was vacant, where there was no WKU linebacker at.
Stanley already 3 catches in this game for 23 yards, makes it 2nd and 5 at the 11. 5 sends a man in motion running right to left. Hands it off the middle, up the middle this time to Stanley.
Tackled by Blackenridge.
The rest of the offensive line thought the play was continuing up the field. Instead, it's just a gain of a couple. Yeah. And it's 3rd and 3. Huge play early on in this ball game. I mentioned how good WKU has been defensively in the red zone. New Mexico State has scored on 19 of their 22 trips down there, but just 11 touchdowns. And now over the last 2 games and a quarter and a half, they're just 5 for 10 on getting touchdowns down in the red zone.
Yeah, WKU do a great job of packing the defense. And now they're going man-to-man. They're going to bring some pressure on Fife.
Fife rolling to his right, throws it into the end zone and overthrows his intended target. Was a little surprised, Terry. They had Fapel one-on-one down here on the left side, but instead all of that designed to move right. And with that incompletion, the field goal unit will come back on.
Yeah, I mean, they do a great job. That defense, especially in the red zone, do a great job with passing the coverages on. And that's why they've been so good in the red zone. It's impossible to do that, for defense to do that. They just have this chemistry with each other on that.
So we'll see the second field goal try in this one for New Mexico State. Hawk made the first one from 32 yards officially. That one was from the left side. This one up and through as well. And New Mexico State makes it 6-0. The WKU defense, as you said last time, you come away happy just giving up the 27-yard chip shot of a field goal. Halfway through the second quarter, though, the Aggies have held WKU to a goose egg on their side, 6-0, New Mexico State.
Attention Hilltoppers, Cheetah Clean Auto Wash is proud to support you with 7 convenient locations throughout Bowling Green and Glasgow. And now, we're offering a complete touchless wash at 763 Baker Fields Way. Detailing services at 2270 Scottsville Road and a 10-minute interior cleaning at our flagship location on Cave Mill Road in Bowling Green. Get unlimited access to any Cheetah Clean location for just $34.99 per month, plus free roadside assistance with all plans. Come see why the tops love Cheetah Clean today.
Thank you, teachers.
Thank you, teachers. Thank you, Coach Prater, for always supporting me.
Thank you, Chestnut Ridge Middle School, for always teaching me to stay curious.
Thank you, Mrs. Love out of Trent Test Academy.
Thank you, Miss Cross, for everything, letting me be myself.
Thank you, Miss Young, for all the life lessons you gave me.
Thank you, Mrs. Hurdlove.
Thank you, Sean Witten, for everything you've done for me.
Thank you, teachers. You're appreciated.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day is game day for teachers.
Blue Moon Sanitation provides clean, friendly, and dependable sanitation services at a competitive rate. We proudly offer the newest inventory in units and trailers in the area. For job sites, small and large, we keep in stock multiple portable toilets and roll-off open-top dumpsters and compactors. Blue Moon also provides residential garbage services in Warren and Allen counties. We want your stinking business. Go to BlueMoonSoki.com to learn more about ours. Blue Moon Sanitation, the official porta potty of WKU.
Welcome to New Mexico State University, where innovation meets tradition. Our groundbreaking programs empower our students to design their future. Our commitment to teaching, research, and service drives us to make a global impact. We are a vibrant community that honors heritage and embraces inclusivity. We foster opportunities that challenge students to grow and succeed in every aspect of life. Together, we can transform lives and build a better tomorrow.
And Jacksonville State, who will meet in 2 weeks. Both teams still unbeaten, and they'll advance the next week the same way. They've already picked up their wins this week. New Mexico State will get the next crack against Kennesaw State next week when they welcome them to Las Cruces. WKU getting set for their bye week here halfway through November. Tyler Eaton joined by Terry Obie here as WKU, it's not they haven't been able to piece together anything offensively, just haven't been able to finish drives early on.
Yeah, making a mistake. I mean, Key's mistakes like that and not recognizing coverages, but he's going to get used to that, though. But you don't want to make a lot of mistakes being a freshman quarterback. I mean, you're going to do that. I mean, first time getting out there, he just got to recognize the defenses a little earlier.
Tisdale set up the last scoring drive for New Mexico State with his second interception of the season, the 10th of the year for this Aggies defense. As that one was made dropping back by the linebacker, Al Piu, for how dangerous that secondary is with what they can do with the ball in the air. We'll see if that impacts the play calling for WKU, as you've mentioned. Really desperate to establish the run game, and they'll go with that to open this drive with Parrish barreling to the left side, gets across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great job with running power on that. I mean, you went outside the guard right there. That was great. What we call the B gap between the center right there. I mean, I'm talking about between the tackle and the guard on that one. If you can make those plays, you get 4 or 5 yards, then you can open up your passing game.
Freshman Parrish now with 299 yards on the season. He's been their most efficient back with nearly 5 yards per carry. This more so what he's known for, operating as a pass catcher out of the backfield. He moves the chains up to the 38-yard line on the 7-yard catch.
But what I'm really impressed with, though, is that they're doing a great job. New Mexico State is tackling in space. Yeah. You might beat them, but they're still making a tackle one-on-one. I would love to have a linebacker or a cornerback one-on-one with one of my running backs.
Far side, this one out quickly. WKU without the top tight end target in Noah Myers. They go to Jackson West, his second catch. He's able to drag a defender up near the first down marker. He thought he had the first down, but they rule him a yard short.
I mean, that was a great job by West. I mean, he wasn't going east and west. He was going north and south on that play trying to get the first down. And West is making a huge impact.
Run right side, cutting it upfield, slicing it back to the right side is Parrish. So evasive when he's able to get some momentum going down to the 41-yard line. They're the biggest run play so far for WKU as Parrish takes the Hilltoppers once again into New Mexico State territory.
Yeah, but that was a great buy by Quincy Jenkins on that. When you can make plays and you can make blocks like that, that makes a huge difference on what you can do in your running game. So if you can really set the running game up by running the football with these 2 high safeties, you continue to do that with 3 high safeties, it's going to set up an opportunity for you can get a throwing pass.
Cameron Flowers in motion. He's going to stay out and block. WKU keeps it on the ground, going left side with Hart. That's the side of the line that they like. That's probably the strong side with Marshall Jackson, one-time Conference USA Offensive Lineman of the Week, was an All-CUSA second-teamer last year out at left tackle. And left guard Lawrence Seymour, he's been Conference Offensive Lineman of the Week twice this year.
Yeah, and that now you got them to a 1 high safety. Now you can throw the football because they brought another guy down to run.
And they do this time on the slant to Barry. He's down to the 22-yard line. Like you said, you get those opportunities one-on-one, and now you can make things a bit easier on your young quarterback, Tisdale, with what you've been able to set up with the run game.
Great job by Tiz this season. We're getting close to this season.
It's early enough to say it now.
You're right, close to Christmas time, but great accurate. We want to read option. When you fake that and you saw that running back, you saw the receiver streaking down the middle. What a great adjustment.
New Mexico State takes the timeout, and I wonder, Terry, I was about to note it. Musa Berry and Matt Henry on that left side were both one-on-one with no safety help, at least with the initial look that was out there. And I think New Mexico State probably saw the same thing with defensive coordinator Joe Morris in his second year as DC. Spent 3 years as the defensive coordinator at Sam Houston. There are a lot of Conference USA in-conference connections on this coaching staff. David Yost, their OC, came here after 3 years at Florida International. New Mexico State piecing this staff together, trying to figure out what it's going to look like identity-wise after all the success they were able to have under Jerry Kill. And Coach Tyson Helton for WKU told us, Terry, he's been very impressed with New Mexico State defensively, their ability to hold teams to less points than he feels like they should have been able to score. 24 points allowed per game. That's about halfway right in the middle of the pack in the country, despite the fact that they're bottom 40 in the yards that they give up, which is, again, very similar to what WKU does defensively.
Yeah, they're very stout. If you're doing that with just 3 down linemen and you can get some type of pass rush, I can see the athleticism. But they're still going to a 1 high safety right now, and it's giving you an opportunity to run the ball or try to get the ball in the air.
Tisdale keeps this time. He's swallowed up in the backfield by big Kolshnek Goki, 6'2", 300 grad transfer. Came in from Quincy University. That is 11th tackle of the season. Tied his season high with 3 and had his lone sack of the year against Missouri State. In a game where a lot of the defensive players for New Mexico State had season highs or career highs, but just couldn't piece enough together on offense with all the turnovers, the 4 interceptions, to find a way to win that game before falling in overtime.
Yeah, he made a great play right there, taking on 2 blockers. Very impressive.
Tisdale right side, wide open Henry, slant 5, touchdown, untouched. Trots in for a 22-yard strike to Matthew Henry. How do you leave maybe the most talented receiver in Conference USA that open?
He didn't leave him wide open. He got shook off the line of scrimmage. We call that drag in. He gave him an outside head fake inside and nobody's home. He said, oh my goodness, where did he go?
Henry beats Charles. There was no help waiting for him. Matt Henry trots in for his 4th touchdown of the season, now takes the solo lead for this WKU team. And the Hilltoppers finally find a way to punch one into the end zone on the 22-yard touchdown catch from Matt Henry. And just like that, the Hilltoppers, we said they hadn't found a way to finish a drive. Well, they do. 7-6, WKU leads it with 3:39 left before halftime, and that's the kind of drive that they needed, Terry. It all started with establishing the run, forcing New Mexico State to pinch things down defensively to give those wide receivers some one-on-one opportunities.
Absolutely, and then you know what, the King is here. So on that play, you see the whole dance by King Henry. He said, you know what, if you're going to come and try to guard me one-on-one in space, I give you outside head move inside, catch the football, score a touchdown. The King has arrived.
That's his 2nd catch for 20+ in this ball game, already 3 for 49 yards. as the Hilltoppers will boot it back. New Mexico State had the ball first to start this game, so WKU will get it back to start the second half. Has really been a slow day for both sides offensively.
But can Cassidy make us right one time? Can he get in the end zone, you think?
We talk about how hard he can kick a football, and Coach Helton said, he said, I told my special teams coach, just go and get somebody that can, and I quote, knock that sucker out of the end zone. The first one landed short of the end zone, and we'll see what Cassidy has in store here. Checks both ways, loads, fires. And that one a bit closer to the norm. It's not going to get out of the end zone, but it's halfway through and down for a touchback.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so it made us kind of right?
Well, he made Coach Tyson Helton happy. I don't think he ever wants to see. He told us if it was up to him, he doesn't want his team to return a kick. He doesn't want the opposing team to return a kick. And you know all about that, the star returner that you were, just how dangerous those plays can be. And if you're a coach, it seems like the smart thing. I kind of get it of, hey, let's just take those out and not worry about them.
Absolutely. I wish they would have had it when I played. I probably would have been able to play a little longer because you get hit unnecessarily. Let's get back and just catch the football and just take it on the 25-yard line.
5 back out in the gun. Looking left to start, now goes back across the middle. It's deflected up in the air, falls incomplete. Was trying to fit it in a window to TK King. Was a trio of defenders around him. Couldn't tell if a defender got a hand up or on it, or if it did hit King on the hands. But regardless, it falls incomplete, and it's 2nd and 10.
I know Lewis, the safety, looked like he was really close. He was getting there. He got his hands on it. You know, he was almost like that boxing guy, Joe Lewis. He was trying to get a knockout punch on that one. Lewis on the play.
Second deflection of the season for Jalen Lewis. Has a couple interceptions to lead WKU as well.
And these late stems are really giving New Mexico State some confusion.
Tries to go to the tight end on the curl route. That one incomplete. Too low for Harris to scoop it from the turf.
Vice pass intended for number 2.
So we got to give a lot of the Devon Brown, right? I mean, these co-coordinators, Merritt, they are doing a good job of mixing a lot of stuff in. The only thing we haven't seen so far is that proud, that stand-up defense, to where you don't know who's at what position and where they're lining. Oh, you know what? They're in a little
and
proud
now they got a little bit of prowl on the left side. They drop it back into coverage. 5 across the middle. Fapel potentially wanted a hold there. He's not going to get it. And I just mentioned, Terry, WKU gets this ball to start the second half, and there with 3 straight incompletions. You give it to the Hilltoppers with 3:27 left to work with in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, I see the whole momentum shifting. You know, just like if they was trying to figure each other out and see what's going on. And I think both teams are trying to get some energy back. And WKU with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. You know, that's a lifetime. They call this little fast Corvette offense because we here in the Corvette land. GM is here. So I'm going to see how fast they can score.
Dean fields the low snap well, boots it away. Hutchinson takes the fair catch. Inside the 31-yard line of WKU officially will get 3:19 to work with in the second quarter, now leading it 7-6 after Tisdale throws the 22-yard touchdown pass to Matthew Henry, and the Hilltopper defense produces a 3-and-out with 3 incompletions. WKU defensively coming off of their worst pass defense game of the season, despite getting the win against Louisiana Tech, gave up 340 passing yards, didn't get a sack, and 46 pass attempts. So far, Terry, Logan Fife just 8 for 20 for 74 yards for New Mexico State. As Tisdale stands back in, rolling to his right, gets it to Henry, makes the first man miss, makes the second miss as well, and drives it up to the 37-yard line for a gain of 5.
Yeah, I like Matt Henry making catches like that. But for some reason, you don't want – I used to tell them receivers, don't go inside because there's live crocodiles in there. They coming to knock your head off. If you want to get upfield, try to get outside as much as possible because all the pursuit is coming from inside.
Henry now with 4 catches. WKU this season 3-0 when he gets at least 5. Great job that time by the running back Harris to cut it back. Or excuse me, it's Lavelle Wright in the ball game. Cuts it back to his right to get up the middle. And WKU moves the chains to the 44-yard line. As Wright, he's not known for those jump cuts. He's more of the power back, but that time a great change of direction to keep it moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, but great. I mean, that was a saving tackle right there by those linebackers because now you're going back to man-to-man coverage. Somebody's got to win.
Tisdale escapes. Gets across the 45, dives forward to the 50, and that is that creativity that Coach Tyson Helton and offensive coordinator Rick Bowie were telling us about. Coach Helton even brought up Marcel Reed from Texas A&M, his ability to get out and create plays that aren't designed. And they say really that's what they want to have him involved more in the run game with, instead of designed runs that might put him up the middle and a bit more risk of danger. They said, hey, he's got the green light to go out there and make stuff happen if the pocket collapses or it's the right situation.
Yeah, he just got to see it a little earlier. If he knows that he can go.
We've hit the 2-minute timeout, 7-6, WKU leading New Mexico State, and they're driving right at midfield here late in the first half. WKU has a second, and officially they've got it as 3. It's going to be closer to 4 right at midfield, leading it 7-6 with 2 minutes exactly left to go. In the first half against New Mexico State, Tyler Eaton and Terry Obie with you. The Hilltoppers celebrating their homecoming. New Mexico State trying to play spoiler. They led it 6-0, but the Hilltoppers scored on their last drive with a 22-yard touchdown pass from Rodney Tisdale Jr. to Matt Henry, who's up to 4 catches for 54 yards. Tisdale now 14 for 18, 111 yards with a touchdown and 1 interception. Takes a snap, looks left, decides to keep it. Running to his right and slides forward at the 45-yard line. He's got enough for the first down.
Great decisive in the beginning. That was really good by him. When you recognize man-to-man, if you have 2 high safeties, you know it's going to be open. Don't hesitate. Go. Even whatever the play is called, once he really gets this offensive down, he's going to be dangerous. But, you know, we talked about the left side. Everybody say the weak side, but left side, strong side. Get that ball out for some reason. Get out to your playmakers.
Hutchinson left side has it. Steps out just short of the 25-yard line. Coach Bowie said they wanted to find different ways to get Hutchinson more involved. They've tried some sweeps. They've tried some stuff underneath. That time he's able to get loose, and a dime from Tisdale to hit him inside the 30.
I like that combination, right, with the corner, with the hitch on the outside. So we used to call that the flood route, like the corner on the inside and the outside guys running like more of a hitch route. Stand on your feet, big guy.
Caught and immediately dropping down with it. To number 19, Lofton Howard, who started the year, Terry, at linebacker and has transitioned over to tight end basically out of necessity with all the injuries that WKU has had. He played some tight end in high school here in Bowling Green at Greenwood.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He wasn't used to being in space so open. He just went down.
But if you know, NFL play, you could catch that, hop back up and try and make something happen. But I think Lofton thought, well, I might as well do the safe thing, make sure that I secure this. And now New Mexico State takes a timeout defensively with WKU operating at such a high speed. It'll be 2nd and 5, 1:19 left to go. The Hilltoppers, 2 of their timeouts to work with if they so choose. And I guess realistically, Terry, you're in a spot on the New Mexico State side where, depending on how this goes, a timeout not the worst thing to use, not just for adjusting your defense, but knowing, okay, WKU gets the ball to start the second half regardless of how much time we've got left. Now we want to try to get this ball back one more time in the first half.
Yeah, they're going to try to get the ball, but what was difficult with 1:19, and I was surprised there, like with the tight end, we saw that too, but he had an opportunity. If he stayed on his feet, he could have scored, but the pass defense is really, the yards allowed is, I mean, they've been doing a great job. New Mexico is doing a great job. But what happened, the combinations with WKU passing the receivers, those crossing routes, make a difference. And now you got one-on-one on the top. You got to get that ball to number 3.
He throws it into the end zone, one-on-one, Masa Berry.
Mo Berry, not Mo Money. Give me that ball very well. He did a great job.
They took the one-on-one that you've been begging for, that combination in the passing game. They've been going downfield, bringing it back to those shorter routes in here. Berry just wins the fight and comes down with a touchdown. They've been trying to find a way to get him more integrated into this offense. Just one catch against Louisiana Tech. Terry, he had 14 catches in the first 4 games, just 5 since coming into this one. That time strikes when it matters most with the touchdown grab.
Yeah, but he looked very good on that one. That one-on-one, when you with a receiver in the corner, the receiver, when I played out there, you lick your chops because I'm a wide receiver. Me and you one-on-one, you don't know where the ball is at. I know where the ball is going. Tell the quarterback, throw it up. 'Tis the season. Threw it to Berry, and it was a very good deal.
Second touchdown pass for Rodney Tisdale. How well he's responded after having that interception that set New Mexico State up to take that 6-0 lead. Since then, it's been all WKU with 14 unanswered, and now it does work out to what we mentioned, if nothing else. If you're New Mexico State, obviously you don't want to give up the touchdown. Because of the timeout given up before, you get the ball back.
But think about it, around Christmas time, Merry Christmas, 'tis the season. Does that go together?
I think if we sat here for 15 minutes and the goal was just to come up with as many puns as we could for Musa Berry's name, I think the possibilities for you would be endless.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, 'tis the season.
What better combo could you ask for?
Yes.
As November bleeds into December, WKU hoping to have their December filled with a Conference USA Championship appearance. They've made 2 under Tyson Helton so far, fell in the title game against Jacksonville State last year. They're in the hunt again, but you pretty much got to win out to stay in that mix. And then see how everything else unfolds with Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State. Here, New Mexico State trying to handle their business. They're going to have another shot before the half comes to an end, but I guess really the danger here, Terry, we keep going back and forth on these possessions and trying to manage the end of this half. Last drive, they came out with 3 straight incompletions, which gave WKU more than 3 minutes to work with on the clock for that drive. You're in danger potentially of doing the same. You really need a fast starter to this drive if you're the Aggies.
Yes, you know what? You almost want to just, ooh.
They keep it up the middle with 5,
my
and
goodness.
he is hammered.
Man, that is a violent. You talked about him earlier. Oh, my goodness.
Jalen Wester.
Man, Jalen Wester.
And Fife is going to come off the field.
Wobbly.
They're surely going to check on him. For all intents and purposes, they're treating it as though it was a clean hit just right in the middle of the field. And that's why when we were talking to WKU's coaching staff, those are the types of hits why they said they didn't want to try the runs up the middle with Tisdale on their side of things. There, unfortunately, Fife takes the rough end of that one from Wester, who, Terry, came in middle of the field completely untouched.
Man, he shot through that hole like a Smith and Wesson. Man, that was a shot. And I hope he's okay because Fife took a huge hit. I mean, this is a violent game, but right there was he met him in the A-gap and tried to run straight through him.
And now Adam DeMonte will come in at quarterback. This a very tough spot for New Mexico State, Terry, particularly because only one other player has thrown a pass on this offense this year, and it was the wide receiver Fapel who threw a 34-yard touchdown pass against New Mexico. This one fired, near side, broken up. Harris had his hands on it but couldn't reel it in as the pass from Adam DeMonte falls incomplete. The redshirt sophomore, originally from Gilbert, Arizona, transfers in from Arizona.
And they try to get it to their big tight end.
And now he immediately checks out, Terry. Just to cut you off, Fife right back out there.
Ooh, I'm surprised that Fife even know where he's at.
I think that was one of those. His helmet didn't come off. I think the officials just said, hey, at least go out there and get checked on. He said, Coach, I'm ready to go. And here, like we mentioned,
I don't know. I
quickly,
don't know if he picked his face up.
quickly 3rd and 8 because WKU took a timeout after that quarterback run. Goes to the right side, incomplete. Again, physicality back and forth. No call, and WKU will get it back after the punt with just under a minute remaining in the half.
And we talked about that too. So Tyler, what would you call this speed offense at WKU? Is this little red Corvette, or would that be a pretty good
deal?
The
little red Corvette, I think, is the best one that I've heard.
Okay.
And they should have pretty good field position. Pending the punt from Dean, his 4th of the day. Hutchinson back to return. You don't want to outkick your coverage and give him a chance for a big return.
Great punt.
It is a boomer inside the 30, back to the 25-yard line, and Hutchinson just takes a fair catch. Great punt that time from Dean. His previous season high was 54 yards. That one swings it down to the WKU 26-yard line, and WKU will take over there with 56 seconds to work with.
And that's a lifetime for a speed, fast offense like this. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do. For some reason, New Mexico State, Joe Morris got away from the two high safeties with a man under, more the Tampa 2.
Yeah.
That's what got Tisdale, but he went away from that and had like more of a one high safeties. Now he's going to three high safeties right now, more of a prevent style defense.
And that's the look that WKU is used to seeing from defenses.
Yes.
Tisdale takes the snap, looks left, comes
can't
back to
force
the middle of the field, now to the right side to Henry. That time went through all of his progressions and got back to Henry for the first down at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, a great adjustment by him. But I'm expecting they're going to give it up. I mean, he's going to be able to run the ball. If he can split these two safeties, because it's going to be wide open. They're going, if he runs, go.
Instead, he throws it near side. It's caught all alone down the sideline. The perfect spot for this situation if you're WKU was Cameron Flowers, who reels it in and gets out of bounds at the 43-yard line and stops the clock at 39 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, Flowers, what a great call by the offensive coordinator. That was a great job by sitting in between that zone and sitting down just waiting. Now you got one high safeties again. Now New Mexico State's giving him a shot to take a shot downfield.
Quick out to Henry. He's wrapped up a fantastic open field tackle. That's something that you've noted from this secondary multiple times. Josiah Charles there to hit him after a season-high 6 tackles last week against Missouri State. He's down at the 39-yard line, and with 34 seconds left in the half, WKU will take a timeout.
Yeah, and I like that by with King Henry, but he was tackled by Prince Charles.
That time the Prince overtakes the King. Huh?
Absolutely.
5th catch for Matt Henry. Mentioned this earlier, WKU 3-0 on the season when he reels in at least 5. That stat, funnily enough, also applies to KD Hutchinson, who had a great game against Louisiana Tech, 6 catches for 77 yards and that winning 2-point conversion. When he's had at least 5 catches, WKU 3-0 as well. He's got 3 so far. So I think the coaching staff has been pretty keen on getting those two both involved as they both hit those marks in that win against Louisiana Tech.
Absolutely. I mean, if you get these players making things happen, but I think it's really good. It's getting really chippy with the King out here, King Henry, and then also Prince Charles. Let me see who's the best out here. Which royalty is going to make that play?
Flushed out this time is Tisdale. Does a little shimmy around the 40, gets down to the 36-yard line. Clock still moving for WKU as they set up on a 3rd and short, and they quickly spike it with 18 seconds left to go. And now the question, Terry, at the 35-yard line, was it spiked to go for it, or was it spiked to get the field goal unit out there?
Get the field goal out here.
It's going to be for the field goal, and there a spot, perhaps the inexperience leaks in a little bit. You would have liked Tisdale maybe to let that thing run down to 3 seconds left.
I totally agree with you. Just a little bit, a few more seconds left, but Because if you don't, you give them pretty decent field position, but with 18 seconds, there's not a lot to do.
Cannon on for a 53-yard field goal attempt.
And it will be John Cannon that tries the long field goal. We've gotten used to seeing Jack Cassidy in these spots. Cannon's is going to be close. It hits
bounce back.
the bar.
Oh,
it doesn't
wow.
get the friendly homecoming bounce. How close can you get?
Man, that was right at the yard mark. I mean, that hit it to top of it.
Was a 53-yard attempt officially for John Cannon.
New Mexico State will take over.
His long had been 49. It hits the crossbar and bounces back into play in the end zone.
Do you blame that on the facilities or something? Do you put grease on there to slide the other way?
Well, a lot of those kicks, you got to imagine, have backspin on it. So if it hits the spot, either way, it's going to bounce backwards. And
wow, unfortunate.
A bit surprised not to see Cassidy there. He's 2 for 2 on the season, both from 50-plus. Hit a long of 55 against FIU and made one from 53 against Louisiana Tech last week. And with 12 seconds left, New Mexico State up around the 35. It looks like, though, instead of chancing it, they're just going to kneel it out, especially with that hit Fife just took. You can imagine that factored into that as well. And that will take us into the halftime break. WKU unable to string together 3 straight scoring drives, but 2 passing touchdowns from Rodney Tisdale Jr., who is 20 for 24 now through the air with 192 yards and those 2 scores and an interception. At that point, it was 3-0, made 6-0 New Mexico State, 14 unanswered from WKU, give the Hilltoppers an 8-point lead as we take this game into halftime. Halftime here in Bowling Green, WKU leading 14-6 over New Mexico State as the Big Red Marching Band takes the field. Inside the house, Tyler Eaton joined by Terry Obie. Terry, this was always going to be a game that was defined by two teams with the same style, the same game plan, the same will that they want to impose, clashing with each other. And early on, New Mexico State was able to take advantage of the fact that WKU was unable to finish drives when they got into Aggie territory. But as this half went on, it's been all WKU in terms of what they've been able to do in the passing game, with nearly 200 yards from Tisdale. And on the other side, Logan Fife for New Mexico State, just 8 for 22 for 74 yards.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is that Tisdale was 20 for 24, and he made a lot of adjustments, and he got the ball into the playmaker's hands, and also he started running the football. Paris had 3 carries for 20 yards and averaging 6.7 yards a carry, so that made a huge difference. And you get those players, the playmakers, you get those the ball in their hands, it makes a huge difference. But New Mexico State, what I'm really impressed with is that their defense, they do tackle one-on-one in space. They do really well with that.
WKU technically had -6 rushing yards in the first quarter. They finished the half with 55 as a team, 20 of those from Parrish. As you mentioned, they got a couple of scrambles from Tisdale, who was able to create his 2 touchdowns, one to Matt Henry from 25 yards out and one to Musa Berry. They've adjusted it to 21. Actually, the Henry touchdown was 22, had another 25-yard catch earlier. Those two combined, Terry, and Matthew Henry and Musa Berry, they've been the downfield threats. They've got 10 catches combined for 105 yards.
Yeah, if you get those guys in the playmakers' hands, and they'll stretch the football. But on the flip side of it, on New Mexico State, they also got to get the ball in their playmakers' hands, and they haven't been able to do that.
Again, just 74 passing yards so far for New Mexico State. The Aggies looking for answers, trailing at 14-6. homecoming candidates being presented here at WKU as the Hilltoppers looking to celebrate a happy homecoming with a win here, leading at 14-6 at halftime over the Aggies of New Mexico State. Tyler Eaton, Terry Obie with you, who was homecoming king, not just in high school and college. I heard, Terry, you even won it in middle school. I don't know how you pulled that off, but that's just what I heard through the wire.
You know, I was always in the locker room. I don't know what was happening going on during halftime. That would have been pretty cool, though.
We talked about New Mexico State's passing game, and I want to dive into that a little bit more because WKU defensively had been pretty respectable against the pass for most of the season. They would tell you that's the strong point of their defense, giving up 217 yards per game. That's right in the middle of the country, but it just given up nearly 350 in that game against Louisiana Tech. What do you think they've been able to do defensively to disrupt a New Mexico State passing game that has been so improved from last season but hasn't been able to get anything going today?
You know, really, that FIU game, you know, when you're doing research in school, it was that outlier. So that game, if you throw that out, they've been really consistent. The defense has been consistent the entire year. That was just one game that FIU just had a great game plan. But what's really impressive to me is that defense, is that bend don't break. If you can allow other teams just to score field goals, you're going to always have your offense being able to win football.
Homecoming queen.
Meanwhile, New Mexico State, a team that is dead last in the country in rushing yards per game, have been trending up, averaging over 100 yards per game over the last 3 games. Officially in this one so far, just 22 yards as a team on the ground in that opening half, and they've got 28 of those from the quarterback, or excuse me, 21 officially from Fife. So the running backs have combined for 1 yard, and then Fife got 22 on one big play, and that's been pretty much it for them in the run game. They're going to have to piece it together to complement a defense that's played well, but trailing at 14-6. Big Red smiling over everyone here inside Houchin-Smith Stadium at WKU and Bowling Green. The Hilltoppers giving him something to smile about. I say him, maybe it's an it. Who really knows what Big Red is besides Big Red itself? 14-6, the Hilltoppers leading it here in Bowling Green. WKU, as you see it, Terry, they have just dominated statistically. It did not feel like that early on, and really for most of that first half, it felt like New Mexico State was dictating how this game was going to go. But the Hilltoppers, without a single red zone trip, were able to piece together those 2 touchdown scoring drives.
Yeah, the big thing that sticks out is, that total yardage is 247, but the whole key is this rushing the football. They have 55 yards rushing. That led to 192 yards passing. You got to run the football first. If you're able to run the football, then that sets up the big plays outside.
And that time of possession big as well for a WKU team that's near the bottom of the country in time of possession, just short of 29 minutes per game. They had it for under 27 minutes in their 2 losses. When you look at those games against Toledo and FIU, on pace, as you can see, to get up over 30 in this one. When they've won the time of possession, they've been virtually unbeatable. And the Hilltoppers need to be unbeatable in the month of November if they want a chance to be in the mix for a Conference USA championship. Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State, they both handled their business for this week. They will meet in a couple weeks' time before we get there. New Mexico State, though, Terry, will have a big opportunity, not just today against WKU, but they will play host to Kennesaw State and the surprising season they've had next week.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Kennesaw State and Jackson State. I mean, they're doing a terrific job, 4-0 conference, so you can't afford to lose any games right now. And look at Missouri State is kind of creeping up there too, so O'Brien Beard.
It's been a packed Conference USA slate this year, and that continues as we get closer to our second half with the Hilltoppers up by 8. WKU leading New Mexico State as we get set to start the second half of this one from Western Kentucky University. Tyler Eaton and Terry Obie with you as the Hilltoppers hold New Mexico State to 6 points in the first half. Terry under seventh-year head coach Tyson Helton. The Hilltoppers 29-2 when they hold teams under 20 points, 2-0 this season when doing so. And really when teams get over that mark, it doesn't make too much of a difference. He's 22-6 when they score between 20 and 29. 30 has been the magic number to hit to beat the Hilltoppers. New Mexico State has their work cut out for them just to get to that 20 mark with the way the WKU defense is held up around the red zone. That's been the story so far as this ball is touched and then rolls out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And because it was touched back there, Terry, it will not be a penalty against New Mexico State, and it will set the Hilltoppers back at their own 4-yard line as Flowers touched it and it went out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to do that. I mean, you put yourself in a tough spot, though. I mean, you got to just let that thing run out if you can.
WKU led by the reigning Conference USA Freshman of the Week, Rodney Tisdale, with 192 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and an interception in that first half. He hands it off left side, driving up to the 8-yard line for a gain of 4 is Marvis Parrish, the starting running back for WKU. Just a refresher for your starting lineups brought to you by South Central Bank. The offensive line from left to right for WKU, Jackson Seymour, Nita Jenkins, and Upchurch. Tisdale back there at quarterback. Parrish will rotate between the 3 backs of Wright, Hart, and himself. Matt Henry, Katie Hutchinson, Musa Berry, the starting receivers, and Jackson West in there at tight end, with Noah Myers still out with injury. Tisdale throws the screen right side. Hutchinson has a gap, takes it. He's hit hard and dropped at the 12-yard line. That secondary, Terry Obie, hits hard for these Aggies. It is every single person they've got back there. This time, it's the safety, Nate Mitchell.
Nate Mitchell was, great. He came up like a bazooka. I mean, they are making open field tackles, especially one-on-one in space. Very impressive, though. That they're able to handle these type of receivers in space, and just on one contact, they don't go anywhere after that.
And he's their leading tackler on the season as well.
And WKU been successful, and I love how this shifting and moving and all this other stuff, but stay on the left side because that's been your strongest side.
3rd and short. It's a direct snap. Hart being patient, gets up to the 14-yard line.
First down, look like it.
It should be enough. They do officially signal. I think the official signaled for the first down. Or no, they're going to say that it's just short. He moved his arm forward like it was a first down, but now the ball is spotted. They do have it just short of that 14-yard line, and WKU, normally a spot where Tyson Helton would take the gamble, but inside his own 15, he's going to choose to punt this one away. Just the second punt so far in this ball game for Cole Maynard.
Yeah, no, you couldn't do that. But the whole thing, the big thing is with that kickoff return was not good, catching that ball. What a boom kick.
Fair catch called for and taken back at the 42-yard line. 45-yard punt for Maynard. His average of just over 49 per punt leads the country. He's had both of his down around the end zone in this game, so he's just had to rush to get him out a bit quicker. And New Mexico State, 2 red zone trips, a couple of field goals. Weren't able to take advantage with touchdowns. Now take back over with Fife in there at quarterback. Just 8 for 22 so far for 74 yards.
Yeah, and number 5, got him see when he's going to ever get in space. Feeful, they haven't been able to get him the football.
He's one-on-one, Donovan Fapel down there on the left side. Fife instead looks right. Again, they go out of the backfield, though this time it's to the running back Callaway. We saw 2 straight drives start that way with the pass out to the running back, though they did it with Dijon Stanley. This time they go to Callaway. Every time it's worked, Terry Obie, for a gain of 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, because what happens is you isolate one-on-one with the linebackers against their running backs in space, and they're getting 5-6 yards a crack. If you can keep doing that, that'll make a huge difference.
And with nothing going in the run game so far, perhaps those passes, the way to create, is WKU bottled that up initially. It was a good job by Isaiah Rudis in his first run of the ball game just to get back near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, on that attack, man, that defensive line, everybody was running to Wester's. That linebacker's really hitting. I mean, he is filling that gap. He's responsible for the B gap, and he is smoking through the B gap between the tackle, between that guard and that center.
3rd and 2, ball at the 49-yard line. Ball goes right side. Second effort, hit at the line, and then Ruttison surges forwards past the hit, took a hard one, and then toughed it through to the 46, and that's going to be enough for the first down. Back behind the play, trying to see who was down for New Mexico State. Looked initially like the tight end Unger.
Unger, yeah. Ruttison was very physical on that run. At the end of that run, he was very physical, determined to get that first down.
Unger hopped back up so quick it was hard to tell he was injured now. He's going to limp off, and that a big loss for them. They like to bring him in. We've talked so much about what Gavin Harris can do in the passing game, but Unger, with that big 6'4", 245 body, they like to bring him in to block. Was a 4-star originally out of high school from New Jersey, spent 5 years at Stanford, and now a grad transfer for the Aggies. He'll come out with Harris back in the game, 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. New Mexico State back in the WKU territory. 4th time they've been there this game. Just 6 points to show for it so far. WKU jumped. We'll see if it was drawn or not. It would be the 5th false start against the Aggies, averaging nearly 7 penalties per game.
It's going to be interesting because it seems like that WKU is moving, but they're moving laterally.
Number 61, 5-yard penalty,
really getting
first
them that
down.
late stem. I mean, they have not adjusted to that. Great job by the defensive coordinators of just trying total different things. Devon Brown and Davis Merritt on that to make sure that giving different looks and confusing this offensive lineman because they see right now they're making their checks immediately and they do not adjust after you make one move, and they're doing a good job of switching last minute, stemming and moving.
That's the 5th false start. Now 6 penalties total for 40 yards. Fife looking left, goes back across the middle. It's caught. Dropping forward is Gavin Harris to the 45-yard line. Gets back everything and an extra yard from the penalty.
Pass complete, number 2.
Yeah, Harris is very physical. I'm surprised. That was a great open field tackle there to even stop him by
I think they should look to get Harris more involved there in the middle of the field. Obviously, Fapel, the one that you want to break it open with, as talented as he is, WKU has given him all the attention. Just 2 catches for 21 yards so far. Came in 2nd in the conference in catches with 36.
Yeah,
he's now in motion.
They just because they're leaving a.
And there's Fapel. They work it to him with that motion, Terry. They had 2 other receivers over there. They bring them across the middle. Fapel slips out, and whether it be getting it to Harris more, whether it be Fapel, those 2 are your stars, and you're going to have to come up with some creative ways to get them the ball.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. If you send him in motion, if somebody runs with him, you know it's man-to-man coverage. So that was a really good job of getting him in space and moving.
Run up the middle. Callaway gets up to the 32-yard line. Gain of 4. That's what he does. Has been a really good spark plug for them. The grad transfer originally from Philadelphia, Mississippi. He enrolled at Alabama as a 4-star safety, but ended up starting his career as a JUCO player. Went to Old Dominion when they were in Conference USA, averaged 7 yards per carry there. Went to Cal and now has landed at New Mexico State as Fapel has it knocked out. Great defensive play on the slant by Nazir Ward to back that ball out, makes it 3rd and 6.
Good job by Nazir. Good job by Ward coming underneath and seeing that slant route and knocking the ball down. Because what he did, he anticipated, and he had so much quickness to get underneath and to get his outside hand underneath the ball. Great play.
We'll see how aggressive WKU gets defensively here on 3rd and 6. They brought the corner blitz and picked up a sack earlier in the ball game.
And Gavin Harris is one-on-one. You can see because he's going in motion. Now you got one-on-one coverage. You're going to try to get to that big tight end.
Fife has no time to get to anybody, just has to throw it out at the last second, lands at the feet of Callaway. Again, WKU brings pressure. And I'll tell you what, Terry, the one to get there is the one that hit him with the big hit earlier, Jalen Wester, having another fantastic game for the Hilltoppers.
Wester is, I mean, we highlighted him earlier in the game, and he has been a pivotal point for that defense. You know, like how we used to say, he playing like a man with his hair on fire. I don't know how you can play with your hair on fire, but he's playing that way.
Ryan Hawk now will stand in for a 50-yard field goal. His season high is 49. Has hit one from 51 when he was at Valparaiso. Transferred in here. Has made a couple chip shots today. Tries to drive this one low from 50, and it's good.
Looked like a soccer kick. Hit a little hook on it. That was a line drive.
You've talked about a pitching wedge before. That was a 3-iron. Kept it low all the way in from 50 yards out of New Mexico State. This time doesn't settle for the field goal. They knock it in from 50, a new season long for Ryan Hawk, but it's WKU still in front, 14-9.
Being strong doesn't mean going through it alone.
Mental health matters, just like physical health.
It's okay to feel overwhelmed.
It's okay to ask for help.
Talking to someone can change everything.
Your mind needs care too.
No shame, no stigma, just support.
We're teammates on and off the field.
Your story matters.
You are not alone.
We see you, we support you.
Let's break the silence together. Mental health is part of the game. Let's continue the conversation.
He'll throw here. Velkamp to the end zone. Touchdown!
Whether you're traveling for work or leisure, Three Springs Hospitality is your home away from home. Each hotel is unique and offers a variety of different amenities to all types of travelers. Parking and Wi-Fi are always free. Plus, select hotels offer complimentary breakfast. The best part is WKU's campus is 10 minutes away from any of our hotels. So be sure to book your travel in the Fan Zone Travel Center on WKU Athletics website. Book your stay today.
WKU is home for big dreamers, for those who shape the future, who set their sights high, accept challenges, fuel their passions, for those with a desire to create a better tomorrow. You don't come here to prepare for one thing. You come here to prepare for everything. You belong on this hill, where we engage, learn, grow, and celebrate together. Climb with us at Western Kentucky University.
14-9, WKU leading New Mexico State. All 9 on the board from Ryan Hawk now. 15 for 20 on the season with his first make of at least 50 yards. Was 0 for 2 on the year coming into this one. Sets a new season long with that 50-yarder, just a yard short of his collegiate career long. Aggies, though, gonna need some touchdowns as this Hilltopper offense stalled out on their first drive of the half after piecing together 2 touchdown drives late in the first half to piece together what was then a 14-6 lead. Rodney Tisdale Jr. still in there at quarterback for WKU. Maverick McIver available for the Hilltoppers. Coach Helton said, I don't really like the term starter, but Rodney Tisdale, he's going to be the first one to run out there on the field, and unless something goes crazy wrong, he's going to be the one to stay out there on the field, and so far that's been the case as fair catch is called for, which will bring it out to the 25-yard line for WKU.
You know, they must see that the returners, because they're not trying to go to the returners at all.
Yeah.
And they're trying to just drop some balls in there, but good
Coach
job,
Helton very
fair
content
catch.
with that.
Yeah, good. You started at 25, you're fine. So, but I want to see this defense. I mean, the defense of New Mexico State has been doing a pretty good job. Very athletic, but now they're really starting to like stick to a four down front now because of the run game.
Tisdale sends Hutchinson in motion, fakes it to him on the sweep, drops it off underneath, unable to bring in the one-handed juggling catch. Is the tight end, Lofton Howard. Boy, what a catch that would be for your linebacker turned tight end to reel in.
Exactly. I mean, look, he got to get it. He tried to slip out to get there, but he got to get his head around faster.
That's one of those for a young quarterback, too, that you teach to take a little bit off of it, float it just a little bit more.
Yeah, give him a chance to get underneath the football. Ooh.
Run up the middle. Initially goes nowhere, spinning outside just to get a yard was Parrish, and that makes it 3rd and 9.
Yeah, but there's that. That was a great, by that Will linebacker. He came in, Troy came in and met him in the backfield. What a great job by the defense.
2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. With a tight end over there as well.
Yeah, the only way right now, this seems like they're coming with a corner blitz. You're going to have to try to get that ball over the middle in the field.
Tisdale looks across the middle, had it there, but it goes through the hands of Howard at the 30. He still would have had to turn and make a play to have a chance at the first down, but WKU gains just a yard, and they'll have to punt it back.
Yeah, Howard, I mean, you know what, then he would know, too, Tisdale's that was a little hot on that one. I mean, you got to give him a little time.
That's a little bit like, especially again with your young tight end that's flipped over from linebacker, you got to take a little bit of juice off of those.
Exactly. Haven't used those gloves for a while. He needs some more stickum on there. I mean, he's been using them in practice. He haven't had them in game. They need to give him a new pair.
Maynard's last punt goes 45. This one has the returner wheeling back to the 25. WKU had 2 defenders there, neither able to make the play.
Shifty, though. He was, I mean, you talking about, he said, you know what, don't block the first pass. I got him made. I can beat the first guy. Great move, great little wiggle. TJ King.
That's what TK King can do, man. Super talented. They've only had him for the last 3 games. Has been explosive on offense with 222 yards in those 3 games receiving. Hasn't done anything so far here today, but just one of those guys that you just got to find a way to get the ball in his hands. Originally from Houston. Spent a couple years at Texas Tech, then 1 at Wyoming. And has really been a spark plug for this team since they've had him the last 3 games as the Aggies take it over at their own 38.
Yeah, they kept him in the football game. They got to have some big plays, though. They're trying to look to make some big plays.
5 hands it off, going right side this time is Dijon Stanley pushing the pile across the 42-yard line for a gain of 4. And New Mexico State, I think, Terry, when you looked at what we talked about at halftime, they really only had 1 rushing yard from their running backs combined. All they had was the big 24-yard run from Logan Fife, and that has been it for them in the running game. If you can get 4 or 5 on first down, you're over the moon.
Yeah, that was a great push by Rodriguez on the other side right there.
Fife bobbles the snap, eventually gets it to Stanley, who is wrapped up and dropped at the 43-yard line. No gain, and it's 3rd and 5.
Yeah, they've been trying the entire game to try to get Stanley the football. I mean, to make some plays. Now you're 3rd and 5. Now you got to put your big guy back in. Feeful, they try to give him, for some reason, they got to give Capel the ball. They haven't been able to get him the football, your playmaker. WKU is doing a really good job of doing that. But we're in a different situation. Look like cover 0 to me. If somebody's got to win one-on-one, everybody is covered. And we call it the NCAA blitz when you're going to bring everybody.
And they drop it back. It was a disguise. Fife, right side. Holloman bringing pressure, just floats it across the middle of the field. It's picked off at the 40, 45, at midfield, trying to get his own guys out of his way, and now chopped down as he takes it into New Mexico State territory. What a game it has been.
Yes.
Out of the secondary in this one for Averion Cole.
Yeah, Cole just got to make sure he get away from his own people. He could have scored. That was a great job of stepping up.
He ran
into
his blockers. That's one of those where you don't quite have the patience that your running backs had. He needed to let that play develop a little bit.
And, you know, with knowing Coach Helton, we call this sudden change. After a turnover in practice, even on both sides, they try to make something happen.
Cole has been making big hits. He's had a breakup as well in this one. 3 tackles, and now he's got the interception to his name. It's those type of guys you need to step up in games like this. The Hilltoppers lead it 14-9. 13-9, WKU leads at the Hilltoppers, now taking over at the New Mexico State 44-yard line after the interception on a ball thrown up across the middle of the field by Avarian Cole. When you look at Logan Fife, hasn't had a great game, Terry, but it avoided the mistakes. Tried to force one there, and WKU able to take advantage, and now in prime real estate with a 5-point lead.
That was a great call by the defensive coordinators. I mean, that confused me. They went from NCAA blitz to cover 0 to cover 1. They were all over the place. Great job here.
Now brought by New Mexico State, and Tisdale goes down. Multiple players in the area, but it's Nate Mitchell up and celebrating after the fact as they bring their star safety in to pick up the sack.
Yeah, I mean, they came in, and Jamel Thompson was down there too. So there was a couple of people down there trying to make plays. So, I mean, penetrating and getting it done. It's eventually New Mexico State is going to have to come out of this too high safety, because if you don't, you're going to give up the run game, but the middle of the field is open.
Tisdale drops off a screen to Hutchinson, 45-40, crossing field. Hutchinson inside the 30, 20, 15, cuts it, and he spins down to the 10. A 39-yard gainer, catch and run for KD out of the cannon, Hutchinson.
Yeah, I mean, I like that design, that play call. They ran that what you call the tight end, I mean the running back screen or the H-back screen right into the zone. Great call selection, and KD was trying to take it to the house. Hutchinson ran as fast as he can, trying to get things happen across the field.
Now WKU finally gets a trip into the red zone. Tisdale hands it off, bouncing right, now back up the middle of the field, and spinning down to the 6-yard line is Lavelle Wright.
Yeah, Lavelle, he didn't want to go left because he's always right. He tried it. That was he's a banger. I mean, Coach talked about how he's like, when he's out there, he's like that, we call him the minivan, right? He's fast, but he'll surprise you at that stoplight, man. He's going to take off really quick.
He's got 5 touchdowns. It's tied for 3rd in the conference coming into today. Him and Hart in the backfield. Those two who WKU like using here. Now Wright shifts to the quarterback spot. He gets the direct snap, running left. Hart out there as his lead blocker. Wright barrels his way through. Touchdown, Hilltoppers. Wright goes left and in for 6.
Yeah, everybody's talking about Wright going right. He went left that time. Great job by it. So he made it right, got the things together. Very a powerful runner. We talked about it was that minivan at the stoplight, but he went straight through. Great job getting to the outside. Great call selection. Ooh, we got to give him some love on that side to the offensive line. Marshall Jackson kind of just drove him about 3 or 4 yards in the end zone. Great play.
Mentioned earlier, that left side is that strong side. With Jackson at tackle and Seymour, the guard, had some help from his fellow running back, George Hart. Extra point up. Flag comes in. It was thrown immediately at the snap. I don't know if a New Mexico State player was lined up offsides. WKU, I think, is going to decline it immediately. And it'll be up and good and make it 21-9 Hilltoppers. As a night that's cool with a potential chance of rain could kick in and really make it tough, Terry.
Defense. That penalty is declined.
They declined it.
Oh, gotcha.
Could really put a team here with the potential weather coming in really hard to be in a spot where you might have to throw for the rest of this game, as WKU has built this up to a 12-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard. I mean, now you're putting Fife in a bad situation, because if you're one-dimensional, it makes it easy for a defense. But again, all night, all day, I mean, these defenses are making adjustments. Right now, I'm seeing the WKU defense is doing like a pro style. We have seen it during the season, but not like this. Not these many changes. All these different variations from 1 to cover 2 to cover 2 to cover 2-man, from cover 0 to cover 1. It's tricking the quarterback. It's making Fife really think, and the offense has to adjust. They're doing a great job of stemming late, and it makes it difficult for a game like this.
Cassidy will boot it away. We'll see if he can knock one into the end zone or through it. With 5:41 left in this 3rd quarter, this one is going to come up short and give another opportunity for a return. Across the 20, and WKU handles it extremely well, not giving up a big one. We saw TK King with that big punt return earlier. That time the Hilltoppers able to bottle him up short of the 25-yard line. So despite Tyson Helton not getting what he wanted, he at least gets 2 yards of an advantage there as he's down at the 23.
Exactly, but you get a couple of headaches too, though. But it's going to be interesting to see what this offense comes out and do. They don't have to get it all back now. Just take your time and get it right. But Robinson one-on-one here, you're going to have a situation that Pfeiffer can possibly, he got to get him in the game. He's got to get that ball out to his playmakers.
Looking right, fakes it underneath, looked back at Fappel. He's double covered, is going to chuck it downfield to his tight end, and it's just off the mark as leaking free was Gavin Harris. If that ball was maybe a foot closer, would have had a chance to make a play running and throwing across his body. Not a terrible throw that time from Fife, just off.
Yeah, Gavin Harris, I mean, that was unbelievable. He was covered by Dominic Oliver, right? A defensive end was covering him on that. That was unusual. You see how the mix is. So a quarterback's got to be able to see all these disguises, all these different types of techniques, because that's unusual for a DN to run with a tight end like that.
They had Emery on him. He shifts over now to the receiver in motion. Fife
got twist up at the line of scrimmage.
Chased out of the pocket, and he's just going to throw this one away into the WKU bench. This is a Hilltopper defense. We mentioned this earlier. They've struggled with generating pressure. Came in near the bottom of the country last in Conference USA with just 7 sacks. If they're able to generate pressure with just their defensive front and sit back against these receivers, that turns this into a completely different ball game. They've only got 1 sack so far, Terry, but they've been able to get back there and hit Fife 4 times and force a few throwaways as well.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of unconventional stuff now. They're in the halfway prowl, and they come out. Now you got two people down, then you bring an extra blitzer in.
3rd and 10, they try to set it up across the middle. WKU brings the pressure. It's batted down. Wanted to get it to TK King, not quite a full just straight up mid-screen, but it leaked everybody else downfield and brought him on the drag, but it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. That's something that WKU does extremely well with their defensive front, and it's 4th and 10 with 5:13 left to go in the quarter with New Mexico State facing a punt situation.
Yeah, but look at all the twists and turns they're doing. They're mixing the tight end, I mean not the tight, the D ends and the linebackers. It's what we call that twist game in there, and it's hard for an offensive lineman when they make their first calls and they don't adjust. He's going to keep doing that and put them in those tough situations the entire night.
Hutchinson fields it at the 41-yard line with the fair catch. And with 5:07 left in the quarter, WKU takes back over with all the momentum and a 21-9 lead over New Mexico State team, struggling to move the ball up and down the field. They're going to need life to get back into it from Bowling Green.
Hilltopper fans, show the world you're a Hilltopper and take the Big Red Spirit wherever you go with the official WKU Athletics debit card. Available only at South Central Bank. South Central Bank is proud to support Western Kentucky University and be the exclusive provider of the official WKU Athletics debit card. Stop by any location and ask about yours today. South Central Bank, the official debit card provider for WKU Athletics. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long-distance love. For the far-sighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Houchins Insurance Group is an insurance broker that focuses specifically on commercial insurance, but we represent all areas of insurance.
If you go down our hallway, you'll see all of our nameplates, and our job titles are listed as owner. And that is truly the foundation of our culture, and I think that's what our customers experience every day through our products and services.
We are superior in service and quality. We've got to provide the best resources for our clients day in, day out.
on this touchdown catch. That time, Charles able to catch up and bat it out.
Yeah, that time the Prince had the best of the King on that one. So I know they're going back and forth. So
and you can tell they're talking back and forth too.
King Henry and Prince Charles. Let's see if they can go one-on-one again. Try him again, see what happens.
Cameron Flowers comes into motion. He's in the slot on the right side. It's a keeper. Getting outside at the 45 up to the 47-yard line is Tisdale. They haven't used him too much as a runner so far in this ball game.
Yeah, I'm liking he's starting to make decisions. You know, he's very quickly. I mean, he's starting to see things open. If you see them dropping out in a cover, drop 8 or whatever, he's getting out there. Because if they look in the pass, now you got one high safety. See what he's going to do. To me, though, hey, go for that fade up at the top. You got one-on-one. There's nobody. There's no help. You just one-on-one. See what he gets the ball out.
He's looking on that left side. Hutchinson on the out route gets to the stick and swerves out of bounds for the first down.
Number 2, Katie Hutchinson.
Yeah. Now, man, Katie has so many names. It's Katie Hutchinson, Katie Clutchinson. They throw the ball to him when in the clutch. Katie Clutchinson gets the first down. But here, this is a total shift right here for the defense of New Mexico State. And you got to give them a lot of credit for them to making tackles in space. But playing too high safety is going to make you vulnerable for the run game if you continue. Oh, what we got going on? We got a lineman going out. Is that Marshall?
You'd think you're going to get a screen here on this right side.
Yes.
Instead, they whip it back to the left side. They use the lineman as a distraction. Flowers, he's got the first down across the 35-yard line. They had the lineman out on the right side. All the eyes go there, and then it goes back to the left for the screen to Flowers instead, and he's got 13 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Marshall Jackson spread out. That was really good to get everybody looking one way, then you throw Flowers the backside. And there they're setting you up to try to get that ball, keep it in the running game.
Barreling right side with a hole inside the 20, staying on his feet down near the 10-yard line. That is the Lavelle Wright experience.
Yes, left, right, left. He stayed right. Awesome job.
You called him a minivan earlier. Like
exactly.
I said, you can put a lot of people in a minivan, and he can carry a lot of people around.
Absolutely. When you stop at that stoplight, hey, it'll surprise you when it takes off.
Ran for a touchdown on the last drive. He's in the backfield here to the right hip of Tisdale. They fake it to him. On the slant, Henry wins again. Touchdown, Hilltoppers. Second touchdown of the night for King Henry.
Yeah, they've been going back and forth. The Prince got him early, but the King said, I'm going to score a touchdown on you. The King has prevailed on that touchdown.
Henry takes his throne, and the Hilltoppers take command. 27-9 with the extra point pending. Second touchdown of the night for Matt Henry. He's now got 7 catches for 81 yards. Both of those touchdowns, Terry, have come on the slant. That time, they left him one-on-one with Charles, and he wins the battle.
Man, you're talking about sweet feet. I mean, you head outside, inside fake, man, what a move there, though, man. He can really do that. We call that the juke and jive, you know what I mean, or the shaking the head. I don't know what the young people call it today, but that looked like maybe the stanky leg. I don't know what they call it.
I call it a touchdown. 28-9, WKU leads it over New Mexico State. Henry came into this one near the top of the conference in all of his stats. He's now got 5 touchdowns on the season. He's up over 500 yards, was second in the league in his yardage coming into this ball game, third in yards per catch, and he's had a couple big ones. You've seen at times it can be tough for WKU to get him the ball down around the red zone because he's such a big play receiver, and normally he's more of those fades, throw it up, jump ball type guy, but those slants have been the way to go for him, showing off more of the route running rather than the contested catches.
Man, he remind me of, you got to go to, I remember Jerry Rice used to be really good like that in space. Those slant routes, he would just kill you with that high, you don't know what was going. His feet was so quick. He inside, outside, back inside. Henry does really well at getting that slant. We call it the dragging or drag in. But to be that, you got to attack that defender, and he's doing it really well. You got to get in his face, or in other words, we call smell his breath before you make a move.
That ball into the end zone for a touchback. And New Mexico State and Logan Fife will come back out looking to string together anything offensively here in this second half. Fife now 11 for 31 through the air, 97 yards and an interception.
And Fife has to get back in the game. You don't have to really rush it. just stick with your game plan, but you're going to need to get your top receiver back in the football game. What WKU's doing is a lot of disguise and staying with these two high safeties. Now they're going back to a one high safety. He just got to recognize it.
They're going to keep it on the ground with Callaway trying to bounce it right. Can't get around his lineman and only gets a yard to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I mean that time he got fooled into it. I mean, the WKU defense did a great job of disguising two high safeties and rolling down to one. So that means you have another extra defender down in the hat to make that tackle.
New Mexico State gained 25 yards on their first drive of the half to get a field goal. Since then, they've run 7 plays, gained 4 yards, and had an interception that set up WKU now as the Hilltoppers have had back-to-back touchdown drives to extend this lead to 19.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with this whole thing tonight.
Goes downfield, again just trying to work it to his tight end, who has been the target for most of the night. Really, the main target in this offense has been Harris. He's unable to get any separation that time against Dave Harrod, and it falls incomplete, still 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Harris, I mean, he's a big play guy. I mean, he's more, once he gets downfield, he's so wide, it's hard to even, especially a corner, to get around him. Yeah. I mean, he's a really good target, but I see what they're doing, but we got to get him in number 5. We got to get him in there. 5th, I mean, we got to get him out. I'm expecting him to get the ball one of these days.
Papel on the bottom of the screen. He's got his one-on-one. They give him the jump ball, and it's broken up down the sideline. WKU didn't bring over the safety help. Papel had his chance. Dylan Flowers, though, able to knock it away, and New Mexico State goes 3 and out for a second straight drive.
Yeah, they tried for Papel, but good job by the corner on that. I mean, and he stayed with him. And what's great about that, when you flip your hips to go for the ball, there's no pass interference. Great job getting that done. I mean, excited about the young fella making plays like that in space.
4th breakup of the year for Dylan Flowers. The redshirt senior transferred in after stops at Southern Utah, BYU, and the College of the Canyons. As Hutchinson again will fair catch it. As explosive as he is, realistically, unless there's just a wide open gap, he's going to choose to fair catch that, and the Hilltoppers get it again with good field position at their own 41-yard line. Back-to-back touchdown drives now, and Rodney Tisdale working on another bid for Conference USA Freshman of the Week. He's 25 for 32, 263 yards, and a new career high with his 3 touchdowns.
But I'm really impressed with Flowers. So flipping those hips, I mean, he's young to me, but he's an older guy. But that was a great play, getting it down, and I'm going to see what's going to happen. Is it 'tis the season now? But now you got to be able to run the football now with these 3 high safeties.
They're going to throw it out to Hutchinson off the play action. Tried to keep it upfield, and again, you just see a strong tackle coming up out of the secondary as Hutchinson unable to get up any further as he's met that time by Nick Session. Those 2 safeties, man, between Session and Mitchell, they run into you. They're usually going to make the play.
They come out and make plays. But what I like, even with K.D. Hutchinson, made a great job with catching the ball with one hand. But now, if you get that ball in the middle's going to be open. Go run now. Go run.
Tisdale's going to run to his left, was able to recognize that one was busted up, got out to the 46-yard line of New Mexico State. It looked like for a moment he was confused by what was going on back there, and then settled in, found the gap that you saw, and was able to take it into New Mexico State territory.
He was like, oh, man, I can run. Nobody's covering me.
Rain has started to come down here in Bowling Green, and still WKU continues to operate with this open set as Tisdale takes the snap, looks left, doesn't take the screen, instead goes across the middle. It's deflected, was trying to get it to his tight end that time in West. But it was batted down and falls incomplete.
It's a great job of how what they're doing is the WKU offense is really adjusting. They spread out wide, and if the safety is going to play cover 2, they're going to make sure they're wide enough to where you can get the ball in the middle of the field.
Great play that time by Torrey Gathers, who leads this team with his 9 tackles as well, with a tackle for loss in this ball game. Run goes left side with the freshman Parrish. Gets up between the 42 and the 43-yard line.
And the left side of that line is making plays with Marshall Jackson and Lawrence Seymour.
WKU with just 20 seconds left to go in the quarter. We'll see if they go ahead and run the play. They don't have to with the play clock.
Yeah, I think they're going to, you know what, you almost want to run the play because they're really not getting a one high safety. You got one-on-one right now. I wonder if they're going to change after this.
Instead, they're going to run this out into the fourth quarter, and into that fourth quarter, they will take a 28-9 lead over New Mexico State. 2 more touchdowns added on here in the quarter for the Hilltoppers. First up, the rushing touchdown from Lavelle Wright, and then the second receiving touchdown of the day for Matthew Henry. WKU looking to move to 5-1 in Conference USA play, stay in the title hunt. They lead it going into the fourth, 28-9. Down to go along with the cool 1st of November temperatures. 28-9, WKU leading New Mexico State. The Hilltoppers already bowl eligible. That's become a trademark of this WKU football program under head coach Tyson Helton. Every year you've seen the Hilltoppers go bowling. They're looking for more, though. They want a conference championship appearance. They've been there twice under Helton, lost both times to UTSA, and then most recently last year to Jacksonville State. Looking to move to 5-1 in conference play as we get this quarter underway with a 3rd and 6 in New Mexico State territory. Tisdale across the middle, throws it across his body, and wide open there was Quincy Burrows.
Yeah, like we talked about with their shirts off, that half rollout. We used to call that the naked bootleg because there was no protection out there. He was sprint out right, wide open because they don't know if he's going to run or not. Great hands getting upfield. They put other receivers in there to make sure they can make some plays out there. Great job.
So much of the attention went into the flat that Burrows had nobody near him. It's going to be a design keeper. Tisdale bounces it left, gets inside the 20. We'll see where they give him forward progress to. for the most part, New Mexico State has done a really good job of bottling up any of those either designed run plays for Tisdale or any of the read options they've given him.
Yeah, Tisdale, you're gonna need him later. You know, with that design play, they penetrated. Great job by that defensive line by New Mexico State on there. You got a couple of guys, some headhunters that's making some plays out there. Especially Gabe Peterson has been a lightning bolt this entire game.
2nd and 7. Flowers comes into motion left to right. It's a handoff left side. Parrish driving down near the 15-yard line. Think they're going to mark him at the 16 for a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 4 for WKU there.
Yeah, Parrish is trying to get to the promised land. He's trying to get to the end zone. Now they got a wholesale of different receivers in here now.
They've got 2 lined out to the right now. One on the left side is Musa Berry, bunched up near the line, close to his tight end, and Henry's out there.
I love that sprint out, that half sprint out.
We'll see if they go to Henry. He runs the slant, now comes across the middle of the field. Instead, it's popped out to the flat right, hit hard. Fantastic open field tackle near the first down marker. The person holding that marker has picked it up as though they're going to move and give them the first down, and now they do, and officially WKU picks up the first down as Wright had just enough when the hit came through, despite the great job bringing him down in the open field by Armenhell. Not enough to move, or not enough to keep WKU from moving the chains.
And now you got your big number 9 in here, your running back 9, Hart. He runs with a lot of heart. You know, 3 set tight ends. You got 2 tight ends with, it looked like 12 personnel, and they're just going to try to run the football. Ooh.
It's play action. Tisdale flushed out to his right. He's going to keep it and trot out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. They'll spot him right there at the 10. Gain of a couple. WKU can still get another first down at the 2.
Yeah, but what I'm impressed with tonight, you know, Fife on New Mexico State hasn't been making those decisions like that to run, but Tisdale is really starting to get his groove. I mean, because this is his season. Tis the season for him to start making plays. And this is look like that other set where they're going to go back to that. Were they going to go back to that hybrid where you switch over to get it to the running backs?
We'll see if they run either the Wildcat or the right cat if they move him in. Instead, they snap it to Tisdale.
He's wide open, too, on the left.
Goes across the middle. It's caught. Now chopped down at the 6-yard line is Berry. He hopped up thinking the knee might not have touched, but they say he was down there at the 6-yard line. Gain of 4, 3rd and 2 there. Again, WKU can still get another first down. And now maybe, Terry, where we see a power run. They bring Wright out, though. Just Hart will be in the backfield to the right side of his quarterback, Tisdale. We'll see if they go to that strong side of the line on the left.
Yes. I mean, really, you spread them out and you just go ahead and run the football. I mean, this is the fourth quarter, and you got a chance to make a statement or sprint him out or go. He needs to run.
Fires one back into the end zone. It's juggled. Was it then caught? It was the circus catch made in the back of the end zone. The first Hilltopper touchdown for Jackson West.
Wow, great job. I mean, he is doing a great job. He's not going east and west. He went north and south, down the middle on a slant, catch the ball again over the middle of the ball. Great design, great look at it. And then he did the Frankenstein monster at the end.
Did a little thriller for Halloween,
little thriller for Halloween without Michael Jackson.
What a journey it's been for West. 4 seasons spent at Florida State, lands at WKU, was a backup, really a third stringer on that depth chart, forced in after a couple of injuries ahead of him, had 3 catches last week and then catches a touchdown today for the Hilltoppers, who now lead at 35-9 after the extra point from Cannon is through. It's been all WKU in the second half. The Hilltoppers celebrating homecoming with a 26-point lead now in the fourth quarter.
Attention Hilltoppers, Cheetah Clean Auto Wash is proud to support you with 7 convenient locations throughout Bowling Green and Glasgow. And now, we're offering a complete touchless wash at 763 Baker Fields Way. Detailing services at 2270 Scottsville Road and a 10-minute interior cleaning at our flagship location on Cave Mill Road in Bowling Green. Get unlimited access to any Cheetah Clean location for just $34.99 per month, plus free roadside assistance with all plans. Come see why the tops love Cheetah Clean today.
Thank you, teachers. Thank you, teachers.
Thank you, Coach Prater, for always supporting me.
Thank you, Chestnut Ridge Middle School, for always teaching me to stay curious.
Thank you, Mrs. Love out of Trent Test Academy.
Thank you, Miss Cross, for everything, letting me be myself.
Thank you, Miss Young, for all the life lessons you gave me.
Thank you, Mrs. Hurdlove.
Thank you, Sean Witten, for everything you've done for me.
Thank you, teachers. You're appreciated.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day is game day for teachers.
Blue Moon Sanitation provides clean, friendly, and dependable sanitation services at a competitive rate. We proudly offer the newest inventory in units and trailers in the area. For job sites, small and large, we keep in stock multiple portable toilets and roll-off open-top dumpsters and compactors. Blue Moon also provides residential garbage services in Warren and Allen counties. We want your stinking business. Go to BlueMoonSoki.com to learn more about ours. Blue Moon Sanitation, the official porta potty of WKU.
Welcome to New Mexico State University, where innovation meets tradition. Our groundbreaking programs empower our students to design their future. Our commitment to teaching, research, and service drives us to make a global impact. We are a vibrant community that honors heritage and embraces inclusivity. We foster opportunities that challenge students to grow and succeed in every aspect of life. Together, we can transform lives and build a better tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, number 13.
November has kicked the door down and welcomed itself in. It is cold, it is rainy, but WKU, no problems with it. 35-9, the Hilltoppers lead over New Mexico State. The Aggies will take back over after the fourth touchdown pass of the day for Rodney Tisdale. Also over 300 yards, 30 for 38, 301 with 4 touchdowns. The 1 interception since then. He has been nearly perfect for his WKU Hilltoppers, trying to lead WKU to a second straight win since he's taken over that starting quarterback spot.
There you
that
go.
one is boomed through. That is vintage Jack Cassidy. Might have had a little bit of that wind at his back to get that one near the back of the end zone. As the Aggies of New Mexico State head back out there, and man, credit to quarterback Logan Fife. He was the first one leading the charge as they ran back out there on the field. It's been a struggle for him today. 11 for 33, just 97 yards and an interception, but it's the times like this where you got to try to piece something together as New Mexico State is looking at their 5th loss of the year and really needing to string together a great end of the season to try to have a bowl bid.
Exactly. So you just got to just have a positive drive here. But right now, with these, the Toppers are really just running around and just excited about every play right now. But 35-9 is difficult to get back in a game like this when they're playing deep right here.
WKU jumped. It's a free jump ball. They go to Fapel, incomplete.
No.
Down the right side. It'll be 5 yards anyways, as the Hilltoppers that time did jump.
Yeah, that was them.
Defense, number 15, 5-yard penalty, second down.
They're moving so quick, we don't know. I mean,
it was Owens down the right side. You are right. Fapel was over on the left. I think I kind of naturally figured that if you got a free jump ball, you throw it up to Fapel, but they do take the shot with the redshirt senior Owens.
Second and 2 for the Aggies.
Had a great start to the season, but no catches since September. Couldn't get in the mix there. But it's now 2nd and 2 after the offside.
It'd be good with trickery. There we finally get him in the game.
TK King gets it on the pitch, but he is shoved down well in the backfield. WKU had that snuffed out from the jump. Again, a flag is down, though, from very early in the play. It was Anthony Brackenridge who showed off the speed there at linebacker to chase him down. He also played wide receiver in high school and flashed it a bit there, but again, WKU jumped.
5-yard penalty.
At least they'll say they lined up in the neutral zone, to put it kindly this time. I think it was another straight-up jump. And now with back-to-back offsides, it's a free first down.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of other guys. You got a lot of guys mixing in here playing. So because at this time of the game, you want to get a lot of film coverage on a lot of players, and they're running around. I see Eric out there, D lineman out there, number 99, is making some great plays out there. He's trying to bring as much energy as he can.
Fife directing traffic, scanning. Now goes to the right side. It's incomplete, but a flag comes in from the secondary. That normally in the spot of a defensive holding or some kind of contact penalty.
Yeah, it looked like Dylan Flowers was holding. Maybe. I'm not sure who they're looking at.
Mentioned New Mexico State has to have, as they do get the holding call in.
Number 3, Brackenridge.
So Brackenridge was the one that had made the great play before they got wiped out by the offsides, and then he commits the hold. But I mentioned they got to have a great rest of the season, and realistically, with Tennessee still left on the schedule, a road trip to Knoxville, looking ahead at 3-5. Kennesaw State, the other team before that Tennessee game, and then UTEP and MTSU. That Kennesaw State game is looking like the deciding factor for bowl eligibility. So again, really just want to take what you can from this one to go into that game with some momentum. Fife steps up into the pocket, throws it up. Jump ball. Is it caught? No, it's knocked out. As back there to make the play, one-on-one against King.
Jalen Emery?
Was it Emery? I think it was out of the slot as Emery stayed with him the entire way. Gave his guy King a shot, but Emery went up, and that wasn't just a deflection. He knocked it out on the way down.
Exactly. And what's great about it, he pulled his hands away from him, and great defense right there. I mean, everybody's getting the opportunity to play, and when you get your opportunity, you're trying to do that. It looked like a whole new wholesale for the defense right now. I mean, WKU has switched out, and it'd be good to see New Mexico State comes with something, have something positive.
They throw it over on that quick out to the running back, Stanley. Flag comes in again. 2 of them down on that far side. One had come in earlier than one later in the play. We'll see if they're both for the same call or different.
Yeah, literally getting sloppy with the rain. I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening around there. Everybody's, because when you get a chance to play, everybody's excited to make something happen.
Yeah. We'll see what the call is or if there are multiple as the officials continue to discuss.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So now New Mexico State commits another penalty. Their 7th of the ball game, 5 of those false starts. WKU up to 5 penalties for 45 yards. They've been one of the worst teams in the country in that department. 70 penalty yards per game. Had been better for most of this one until this drive. And with a couple of offsides and a defensive holding.
And WKU is giving them a taste of their medicines with just 3 high safeties.
That ball nearly picked off. Fife fired it over, and never looking back at it was Malone Bradford.
Wow. You got to make that. That was right in his hands in the bread basket. You got to make that catch. I know it's a little rainy, but you could have had could have been his 2nd interception tonight.
It would have been the 2nd interception for Avarion Cole if he could have held on. I think he was a bit surprised the ball was there because, again, the receiver, Brody Malone Bradford, never looked back at it.
Yeah, that would have been good. He would have actually put coals on their head. It would have been real hot to make that play.
3rd and long. They're just going to hand it off. Left side bursting through and getting across the 45-yard line that time is Ruddison. And New Mexico State on 4th and long.
And Ruddison is a physical back there. He runs very hard. He reminds me with the big, thick legs. He kind of reminds me of that Earl Campbell back in the days. He's very physical, man, and it's hard to wrap around that kid. He can really run that rock.
On 4th and 12, New Mexico State still has the offense out there. Why not? Trailing at 35-9 in this one.
Yeah, you have to. Now they look like they're locking it up, too. Look like he's switching it up. You got that safety in the hole. Great coverage on that.
Fife goes across the middle, incomplete. Receiver asking for the flag. Not going to get it. And again, they're in coverage is Cole. What a game he has had with the interception. Could have had 2. And there forces the incompletion to put the nail in the coffin. 8:59 left to go from Bowling Green. WKU leading at 35-9 as they'll take over after the New Mexico State turnover on downs. WKU in full control, 35-9. The Hilltoppers leading it over New Mexico State. Tyler Eaton and Terry Obie with you. And Terry, it seems like at this point they've called it a day for Rodney Tisdale with his 301 yards and 4 touchdowns. And now we'll see Tucker Parks in at quarterback, the redshirt freshman from Spring, Texas, 6'2", 202 gets in for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, and it looked like a host of the linemen and different people are playing right now. And see, everybody gets a few opportunities right now to play. Looks like Marvin Sims is in there too.
First snap for Parks is going to be a keeper on the right side. And he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain.
Yeah, he got hit pretty hard. He's hard hitting defense though. That defensive lineman he's been everywhere. It was that Jamal Thompson on that play.
That was who we highlighted coming in. Knew that he was going to have to have a big game. And again, this is a defense not just without Ezra Christensen, but also without their best linebacker Tyler Martinez, who they have been without since the first 4 games of the season. Parks rolls to his left.
Like this half sprint out.
Pauses on the left hash.
Don't panic, get the ball out.
Now just dumps out of bounds, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you can tell, he's getting in there and trying to figure some things out on the run. If he just would have kept in that progression, he would have been okay.
So with 8:17 left, clock frozen for a 3rd and 10 for WKU. Ball at the 45-yard line of New Mexico State. 2 wide receivers right, 1 left. Now the running back shifts to the right hip. Parks gets the snap. Looking right, flushed out, hit, and just has to throw it away down the right side as the pressure comes in from the Aggies.
Yeah, that was a good sequence by the Aggies on that. Understanding what's going on, and they just confused Parker a little bit. He just got to make that decision earlier. But if you win on the inside, great job on that by Torrey.
A result in a punt for WKU. Hasn't been a busy night in that regard for Cole Maynard. We'll see if he can pin one inside the 20 here.
See what kind of iron he's going to use here. It looked like more of a pitching wedge.
That one a bit of a wedge, and the fair catch called for inside the 10. 11th time he's downed one inside the 20 this season, and New Mexico State will take over close to their own goal line. And again, Fife the one leading the charge back out there on the field. Just 11 for 35 so far with his 97 yards and an interception. But he's been through some tough hits. And really, this WKU defense, Terry, I don't know if any of us saw this performance coming. Under 150 total yards so far for New Mexico State.
Yeah, they gave him all that they could handle tonight. The way those coaches, these defensive coaches called this football game, it made a huge difference tonight.
Fife keeps it himself. He's up near the 20-yard line. He's had a couple of effective carries, had their biggest play of the game, a 24-yard carry that set up an eventual field goal in the first half. He's able to move the chains there with another big run. Has really been their only spark of life in the run game. Callaway 5 carries for 6 yards. Stanley 5 for 4 yards.
Yeah, but only it's a little too late. You know what I mean? The thing is you can run the ball, but you got to get it in your playmakers' hands. You got to try to get the ball out if you can.
He's got Harris running down the seam, floats it to him, comes back to get it, and he does. WKU signaling incomplete, and they say it did hit the turf. That was the one to Harris, but couldn't hold on through the 2 defenders.
Yeah, Harris got to make that play. I mean, that was an opportunity. If you run in what we used to call the alley route, but split the safeties, he was there. He just got to use his body and slow down and block him outside. But great recovery by the defense. Those safeties we call skinnies. They look skinny, but they come hard.
It's a good job by Ali to come up from behind and get a hit on here. We see a run down the right side. Another good one from Ruddison. He's run it solid here in this final quarter, just short of the 30-yard line he goes.
Ruddison made a really good effort, though. But, again, Rodriguez, that tackle is really making some plays outside. I mean, that guard. I'm saying the right guard, he did a good job. And Neves, the other guy, number 76. I mean, 76, I'm sorry. right tackle.
Neves won a JUCO championship last year with Hutchinson Community College. Redshirt junior, 6'7", 315 over there at right tackle. Fife steps up. He's going to run it across the 35. Now cuts outside, gets to the 41-yard line. Needed the 40 for the first down. So New Mexico State piecing something solid together here late in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to do. You just want to leave the game with something positive and put something on tape or video that the coaches can look at. To something that we can, we can build on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Again, your season is on the line next week against Kennesaw State. You've got to build into that ball game if you're the Aggies.
Absolutely. And if you just continue to stay positive and just try to methodically go down the field and make something happen. Get into your big tight end's hand.
Over on the left side, wide open is TK King, perhaps their most explosive player, bottled up at the 45-yard line. Great open field tackle to keep that from turning into something bigger.
Man, we got so many kings out here. All these countries, you got TK King, King Henry, so all these kings and princes out here, Prince Charles, all this royalty out here. They're making a lot of plays with all this speed.
Handoff goes up the middle to the 48-yard line. 3rd and short upcoming after another carry for Ruddison. He's got 6 now for 27 in the ball game.
Man, he's a bruiser. I'm surprised they didn't have him, using him a little bit more. He's physical out
5'11", 220. The redshirt junior from El Paso. Ball goes to the right side, and it's caught by King. He's got the first down to the 46 of WKU. And that is the first, well, it's just the second catch of the ball game for the explosive TK King, who again came in over 200 yards over the last 3 games. Wasn't really involved in their game against Missouri State either, as WKU is going to pick up a sack.
The Big Mac sack. That's awesome, man.
Sacked by Hilltopper number 9.
Dominique Oliver, who we have seen all over the place in this game, has dropped back into coverage, has had to sprint outside to help stop the run, and that time picks up the sack for a WKU team that had just 2 sacks in their last 6 games. Coming into this one, they've racked up a couple here against the Aggies.
Great sack with the Oliver twist on that one. Inside, he went inside that tackle and made another nice play.
Fife looking right. They had the trips that way. Has a man down the sideline, but it's incomplete. Just stretched that one too far towards the sideline as he was trying to connect with Graves.
Yeah, Graves was in that gray area. I mean, he was wide open. He did a great job getting there. Fife's just got to step up and throw an accurate pass on that one. He just got to step up better and step up in the pocket because he had room. He was wide open if he settled his feet. There's no one there.
That's one, too. You tell your guy, just throw it to the space where he'll have a chance at it.
And like 3rd and 20, I mean, all you have to do is, these safeties going to sit back. They're going to have another opportunity.
They ran it last time on 3rd and long, and they run it again here as being flipped over to the 48-yard line and back into WKU territory is Ruddison, who's gotten a lot of good running here in this final quarter.
Yeah, that was a great tackle was that Machiavelli, the poet, right? Great job making that tackle by WKU, but again, the running back Radisson he can really run. He's very physical.
Malatumau, Machiavelli, Malatumau, the transfer from Nevada has been so key up front. Nevada's coach told us he thinks he's WKU's best defensive player.
Here we
as
go.
Fife has a ton of players around him. He's wrapped up and dropped the second sack of the drive for the Hilltoppers. All the ends come together to take credit for that one. And another turnover on down sends it back to WKU with 3:46 left in the ball game and a 35-9 Hilltopper lead. There is a player down after the play. It's Karan Hayward, the redshirt sophomore linebacker from Jacksonville. We'll check up on him after the break. Hilltoppers leading it by 26 here at WKU. Under 4 minutes remaining in the game. 35-9, WKU leading New Mexico State. Hilltoppers on their way to a 5-1 mark in Conference USA. Aggies going to fall to 1-4. As you see the upcoming schedule, you go up against a team tied for first in the conference in Kennesaw State, then on the road against a top 20 Tennessee team. Those last two, obviously, you look at as potentially winnable for New Mexico State, Terry. So as we talked about, all the chips for a possible bowl game fall on that game coming up next week.
Yeah, I mean, they have a chance to beat Kennesaw State, but Kennesaw State's been playing pretty well, so they can test their wits right now.
Park still in at quarterback for WKU. They keep it on the ground to get this drive started after the turnover on downs leaves them in New Mexico State territory. Carry taken by Jalen Hampton, the redshirt senior, originally from Frederick, Maryland.
And this is the opportunity. I mean, a lot of people say, you know, garbage time or later in the game, but this is an opportunity where you get guys live reps and see what they can do in space and see if you can be used down the road, because you don't know what can happen. One injury or one thing happen, you got to rely on those players to play.
Go to Hampton right side again. He's up at the 40, still pushing forward through the pile up near the 36-yard line. That'll make it 3rd and short.
He's trying to put people to sleep. We got to give him a name. Is the Hampton is in?
You got a nickname for everybody, don't you?
Yeah, we try. You know.
Just wait until everybody gets to see the birth of the X's and Obies with Terry Obie. 3rd and 3 here.
We're working on those.
This is a spot, though, as you mentioned, if you're WKU, we're talking about a team who is winning this game thanks to a backup quarterback that has stepped in and been excellent in Rodney Tisdale, that had an opportunity like this against Northern Alabama earlier this season. As Parks keeps it up the middle, and he's going to pick up the first down and move the chain.
Yeah, I like the physical play by that physical run by Parks. I mean, he was a big Park on that one. He was in the small time little Park, you know, with the swings and everything.
That'll bring us to the 2-minute break. 35-9 is the WKU lead with those 2 minutes remaining in this one. The Hilltoppers and these second stringers going to try to string together one final good drive.
Merchandise.
Perhaps the final set of downs of this one for WKU as they wrap up a homecoming win, leading New Mexico State 35-9. As we look at the schedule ahead for the Hilltoppers, everything building towards that game at Jacksonville State. The reigning conference champions, WKU, was able to earn their spot in the conference championship last year by beating Jacksonville State, then lost that title game against the Gamecocks as well. the Hilltoppers going to be at a very similar spot, Terry. Everything figures to be lined up to where if they take care of business against MTSU after the bye, that Jacksonville State game is going to determine at least one of the teams in the conference title game.
Yeah, and they get a chance to see us again. Come back and join us. Don't change that dial. Come back to Middle Tennessee and check us out on ESPN+.
It'll be myself and Terry with you once again here for another Conference USA game with huge stakes and what has quickly blossomed into a rivalry in the conference as New Mexico State takes a timeout with 1:43 left ahead of a 2nd and 4 for WKU down at the New Mexico State 25-yard line. The Hilltoppers in this ball game now have racked up over 400 yards of offense, 432 yards, 131 of those on the ground after they had negative rushing yards in the first quarter of this game. That's been the aspect of the offense, Terry, that the coaching staff has talked about all along. It's not about putting up huge numbers. It's just about finding some consistency, gaining 4 to 5 yards of play. That wasn't happening to start the game, but it's once that began in the second quarter that a switch was just flipped for the Hilltopper offense.
Exactly. If I was a fly on the wall, I guarantee you Coach Helton was letting them have it and letting them know that you got to come out a different team in the second half, and they totally did. And you're right, they're rushing the ball 4.2 yards a carry. That's really big numbers coming in if you can run the football and throw it.
That sets up the play action game and opens so much up in the passing game overall for WKU as Hampton is tripped up at the 25-yard line, and New Mexico State will take one more timeout as well. They're forcing this issue, and
I guess
Coach Tony Sanchez, he's not laying down on this ball game. He's an old school guy. He's been around for a long time. He earned his licks, was a high school coach, very successful at Bishop Gorman, mentioned it earlier. That's one of the premier high schools in the country down around that area in Las Vegas. And he went 85-5 from 2009 to 2014.
And then also, too, though, I mean, he's a gambling man, too, from Las Vegas. He don't want to keep all the chips with him. You got to lay all the chips. You can't lead a game with timeouts in your pocket, so might as well use them.
1:40 left to go. One timeout remaining for the Aggies, trying to get a stop and get some more reps for their offense. I put up a field goal on their first drive of the second half to make it at that point 14-9, and WKU has outscored them 21-0 since.
But I wouldn't be surprised if WKU doesn't get it. They don't go for it on 4th down still.
Hampton pushing forward. He's dropped and the football comes out. New Mexico State is bringing it back the other way. The timeouts are going to pay off for the Aggies as they get a scoop and score. The Hilltoppers driving to score their own points. New Mexico State forces the fumble, and they pick up the touchdown, bringing it the other way. How about a way to pay it off for the Aggies?
You're right about that, Tyler. You're right. I mean, Coach, he never quit. I mean, he just constantly said, you know what, we're gonna stay in this ball game, and that looks like a fumble. I don't know if his knee was down earlier, but any spark like that can be something positive that to rally this team, not for this game, but for down the road. I mean, you got Kennesaw State next week. They can just have some fight left in them.
And what a moment there for Stilton McKelvey, the backup cornerback, redshirt junior from Houston, who gets the scoop and score again. WKU was down there knocking on the door of being in scoring range. Whether or not they take the field goal or go for it, we don't find out. Instead, New Mexico State gets the defensive touchdown, their second forced turnover of the game. They're top 10 in the country in that department coming into this week. And as the extra point is up and good, it's now 35-16. WKU with 1:25 left. I mean, all of that, you can argue one way or another about the timeouts, pays off in a massive way. It's not about the score here. It's everything you just said, Terry. We keep talking about the importance of that Kennesaw State game. You needed some ounce of momentum to take away from tonight to take into that one, and there you got it.
Yeah, and you know, momentum, right? It's about momentum and everything, but it starts with confidence, just believing in yourself, knowing that you can do it. I mean, you're getting beat really bad, 35-9, and then all of a sudden you can make plays. You can just look at the video and say, we never quit. We got this chance. We're a second half team. When we play Kennesaw State, just play like that. And they can think about it. They'll know something when they take that plane ride home or they get on the bus, that they know that they didn't quit and they gave it all they can at the end.
So now the Aggies will boot it away to WKU. With 1:25 remaining, we'll see if, in the spirit of what they've been doing, if they try to pull something here. The last few kicks have just been those short ones that the Hilltoppers have opted to take the fair catch.
Looked like an onside kick because you got your hands team out here with WKU.
That's exactly what it looks like, that bottom side of the screen. They've got the hands team lined up. We'll see if the Aggies can pull it off. Nevada tried an onside kick against WKU, and Matt Henry returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what's going to happen. I mean, this could even spark him and give him more life. I mean, it's just would just,
Kicks it. It's still alive. Did it get far enough before the hands were on it? It doesn't matter, as Matthew Henry comes in and claims it for WKU.
Yeah, he almost had another scoop and score if he would have took a better bounce.
New Mexico State had the first chance at it, and based on the fact there's no flag, it got far enough to where it would have been a legal recovery. It was the perfect kick, but ultimately it's Henry that comes up with it there for WKU.
Yeah, and especially slippery out there. That's sometimes it changes. We just see a jersey change right there. Saw a football.
Hilltoppers ball 1st and 10 at the.
I think you can run the clock out here, can't you?
Only one timeout left for New Mexico State. Even if they tried to use it, the Hilltoppers are going to have the chance to run this one out and lock up victory number 7 on the season. The knee is taken. What a moment for the redshirt freshman Tucker Parks, who gets to come in and close this one out, making his first plays as a Hilltopper quarterback behind the backup turned first man on the field, as Tyson Helton coined it. Rodney Tisdale Jr., 30 for 38 through the air, 301 yards, 4 touchdowns, the interception early, and then turned into a completely different player, and this turned into a completely different offense after that interception.
Absolutely, and he made decisive runs and made great decisions later on down the road. He just got caught up in New Mexico State went away from that. It looked like they played 2-man on that play and kind of confusing, but they went away from that, and Tisdale had a great game, and they had a great game plan on the second half.
On the New Mexico State side, another fantastic game for linebacker Torrey Geathers. He ties his career-high 13 tackles that he just set against Missouri State in the last time out. A short-handed defense without their best linebacker in Martinez. Today without their best defensive lineman in Ezra Christensen, perhaps the best chaos enforcer in the entire conference. Cannot contain this WKU offense. They did it for a quarter, and perhaps you could even say it for a half. But the Hilltoppers string together 21 unanswered and win it 35-16 over New Mexico State to move to 7-2 overall, 5-1 in conference play. New Mexico State falling to 3-5, 1-4 in the league. It's hard to see, Terry, how anyone is going to keep Rodney Tisdale from a second straight Conference USA Freshman of the Week, because he's going to have a bid for Offensive Player of the Week.
Absolutely. Had an incredible game after that one blunder, one mistake, and just decided to just, take it in his own hand and get into his playmakers, and decisive on the runs, decisive on the plays, not forcing things, and then they had a really good game plan. Very, very excited for the young man that could, like we're talking about this, we're coming close to December, so it could be tis the season. And if we can continue to do that and get better, he can make a huge impact on what this team can do the rest of the season.
2 touchdown catches for King Henry, Matt Henry, 7 catches, 81 yards overall. KD Hutchinson, another game with 7 catches. He has 7 for 83 to lead the Hilltoppers in this one. Musa Berry, 5 catches, 39 yards in his own touchdown. And then the touchdown run from Lavelle Wright going left. He finishes as the Hilltoppers leading rusher with 44 yards. They rack up 128 on the ground as a team. Logan Fife just 13 for 39 through the air, 110 yards and an interception. For all WKU did offensively, Terry, defense the calling card in this one for a Hilltopper team that was led by Brackenridge with his 9 tackles, and outside of him, nobody else with more than 4 tackles. It was just gang tackling everywhere for the Hilltoppers that made big plays when they needed them.
Yeah, I mean, and then really I'm so impressed with the defensive calls tonight. I mean, they did a great job of mixing schemes and stemming and moving, confusing New Mexico State. So you got to give them a lot of love because I haven't seen that around, especially in college, when you look like you're playing cover 0, cover 1, and you can flip it to 3, cover 3, and cover 2. So it's been impressive.
For my partner Terry Obie, I'm Tyler Eaton. Thank you to our crew. Thank you for watching. This has been Conference USA Football on ESPN+.